Good morning, good
Fuck!
afternoon, or not. I, I suppose it's worth noting that Brayden might not be doing very well today, and the reason for that is there was a number of football games played this past
A number
weekend.
of really good football games.
I would say there was only really one good football game played this
Well,
weekend. The
it
rest of
depends
them
on how you
were.
view. Because I viewed Cleveland and Texans as a good one.
Well, for somebody who wants his team to hire Bobby Slowick, I got to wait an extra week for that. So no, that's not a good outcome for me. I needed them to lose. Um, but well, okay, the Eagles getting an ass whooping last night. I consider that a good game.
Yeah.
What was not good was my afternoon commute having extra traffic because there was a Bucks home playoff game. But beyond that, uh, yeah, good shit. Bucks stood on business. Eagles, um, funny
The only
funny
downside to
collapse.
that for me is that means the Eagles might fire Nick Sirianni.
I heard today they're keeping him, and that Brian Johnson is on the hot seat, quote unquote, which is interesting because he has two head coaching interview requests, and he's
He's
now
like,
on the hot seat.
yeah.
Well, if they
Who's
don't
the other
want him,
team?
the Panthers probably do. So that's fine.
Panthers and who's the other?
Titans. We're not. I don't think we're hiring Brian Johnson.
You better not.
I think so. As of today, the Titans have 10 requests in for guys. I think they're just casting as wide of a net as possible. I think
Nothing
what
wrong
they're
with that.
doing is they're making up for years of Mike Vrabel refusing to look anywhere besides in house for coaches. So now they're like, okay, we're short on ideas, so let's ask everybody in the league ever how they do
Almost forgot.
things, and then oh hell yeah, it's a good can. It's a good can right there. Hey,
It's pretty much come tradition at this
no
point.
free sponsorships, man. When they start paying us, we'll start flashing the label. But
And by the way, this could be any drink in my hand if we're getting sponsorships.
oh, fair enough. Yeah, I'd be happy to replace the DP with a. Well, I'm not going to start naming brands because again, no free sponsorships. But with your brand here, I should make like a little sticker that says your brand here
Your
and
brand here.
put it on anytime I have a can, anytime I have my beverage here, my water.
I
I
mean,
should put
I
it on
don't
my.
know. I don't think you just put the video up. You don't put like a banner or anything around it. There's black
I
space
did the first time we
in
did the
that
division
sense.
predictions. I should start doing that again. I should maybe just a little more effort into this.
Nah, it's just two dudes
It's just
talking.
two dudes jacking off or whatever it is that we do here. Nobody watches this thing anyway, so nobody knows who it
Correct.
is. And for the two of you that do watch this every week, thank you.
Comment,
I love you.
please.
Give me a kiss.
Are you sub to me? Do you watch it on my channel or do you just watch Jacob's?
That's a good question.
Comment that down below. I know this video is on his channel, but comment that down below.
I would like to know. But with that being said, yeah. So the Titans now have the 10th one they just put in was for Panthers offensive coordinator Thomas Brown, and NFL fans do this thing where they see where you're currently employed and they think that's your entire resume. This was the assistant head coach of the Rams when they won the Super Bowl. And he was the running backs coach at Georgia in 2015. I don't think I need to tell you how good that 2015 Georgia running back room was. Everybody knows it. That was a historically great running, like Todd Gurley, Nick Chubb, Sony Michelle, and I think they had somebody else in there. Like that was a damn good running back room. I think we can all agree.
Super Bowl champion
So
Sony Michelle,
actually, well,
best one out of
hang
all.
on. No, Todd Gurley was drafted in 20. Was he drafted in 2015 or 2016? Shit, that may not have been. I think he was drafted in 16. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it was 15. I don't remember. Shit. Whatever. Either way, he coached at the very least. He coached Nick Chubb and Sony Michelle. So
Two-time Super Bowl
yeah,
champions.
stud. Um, so he has a good reputation around the league, and he was also the Rams tight ends coach the year after that. Like, he was the assistant head coach and running backs coach in 2021, and then last year he was the assistant head coach and tight ends coach, and then he was the Panthers offensive coordinator this year. So now, obviously, Carolina's offense wasn't the most electric unit in the NFL, but it's not like they had much to work with offensively, and it's he's far from the top of my list, but I would still take him 100 times out of 100 over Aaron Glenn. Like, you will genuinely never hear from me again if we hire Aaron Glenn, and we won't. Aaron Glenn is older than Mike Vrabel. I think he's like 53 or 55. He's a defensive mind. He's not even a very good one. I think players like him, and that's really the only reason he's getting these interviews. He's definitely the bottom of my list. And but anyways, Bobby Slowick is a Titan. I'm already convinced myself. He is currently at the odds-on favorite at plus 100, which isn't insane odds, but it's still pretty good odds. And he cooked against the one of the best defenses in the league there in Cleveland. C.J. Stroud completed 21 passes. 8 of those 21 completions, his receiver had 5 or more yards of separation. That's Bobby Slowick's offense right there. And if you've watched any Titans football the last couple of years, you would know that separation is very hard to come by. So a schemed separation would be ideal for this team, and that's exactly what Bobby Slowick does. So I've already convinced myself it's going to happen. It's a matter of when and not if. And hopefully they lose to Baltimore. One, because I hate the Texans. I don't want them to make an AFC championship game. I get to have fun laughing that they're the only team to never make a conference championship. I don't want that to change. Baltimore was also my Super Bowl pick, and they have been for a while now. So, I'd be wrong. And then I'd have to wait another week for Bobby Slowick. Like, that's ridiculous. So I'd have to wait until after the conference championship game no matter what, because if you win, you can interview coaches during the bye week that are in the Super Bowl. That's why, you have guys like Shane Steichen accepting the job before the Super Bowl even gets played. But Bowie appearance. He's sprinting. There he
Most
goes.
dramatic appearance, I think.
He ran right in. I've got laundry on the bed. Well, that's mostly blankets behind me, but there is some laundry there. I gotta fold it and put it away after this is done. But
My unfolded laundry is off frame.
fantastic. So Titans coaching search is heating up. We've got 10 candidates. I think we're interviewing Dan Quinn today. We should have canceled that. We should have canceled that interview after this.
Well, no, in prepping for that interview, we'll get into it.
I think he's a Seattle Seahawk still at this point. I think Pete Carroll getting pushed to a different role in the Seahawks organization. I think Dan Quinn to Seattle is a pretty sure thing. What are you doing, bud?
I mean, he can go to wherever. I don't care.
What are you doing? Okay, I thought he was peeing for a second because the position he was in, he was squatting down on I just cleaned his litter box last night. He shouldn't be peeing. Okay, he's not. We're good. Anywho, do you wanna let's stop putting off the inevitable here. Let's tell us how you feel.
Well, so this is interesting because I've pretty much this whole season I've already explained my feelings of what my reactions will be at different outcomes.
Yes.
So it's if you've listened, you know exactly how I feel and what I want to happen.
Yes.
Since the Niners game, I've pretty much been of the mind. So obviously when we did our picks, I picked the Cowboys. That's purely heart-based.
It's a fun little thing.
Yeah, and if I would hope that the rest of the podcast, what you've heard, would make you believe this. Obviously, the heart has said Cowboys. Brain has said Ravens.
Mm-hmm.
I hope that's believable because it is true. But it's just as a fan, I'm gonna be rooting for my team. I don't know what you want from me, but my expectation wasn't actually Super Bowl win. My expectation was conference championship appearance.
Yeah.
That was my expectation, and I thought I thought getting there was going to be the only way I'd be okay with bringing back Mike and Dak. Anything less, I said bring one back, change the other. I did, and I leaned Mike because of the financial reasons with Dak. Also, Dak just had his best year with Mike's offense.
Yes.
Take Mike away, the likelihood of Dak regressing, very high.
Yes.
I did not expect losing in the wild card at home, especially because it was at home. We were amazing at home.
37 points a game at home, and the defense was averaging at probably at least 2 takeaways at home. I mean, it was ridiculous. The difference between the Cowboys at home and the Cowboys on the road,
Yeah. So now what I want is both gone.
Yes.
And this shouldn't be a shock to anybody because I pretty much have said. I mean, my feelings of Dak haven't really changed since the Niners game. Even when he was doing well, I still was like cautious
Hmm.
about it. Um, I don't. I mean, I don't know who we could get, but like I've said before, the odds of us getting a worse quarterback than Dak are high,
Hmm.
extremely. I've said the most likely thing would be us getting a worse quarterback, but like I've also said, I can accept that.
Because at least you're taking a chance
You're.
on
We see
something.
where we can get with Dak. We've seen it.
Yes.
I'm done. He doesn't have the dog in him.
He doesn't have much aura, to be honest. He's a very nice
No.
guy.
Yeah.
He does make plays, but in terms of like, does he have sauce? I don't think so. You know what I
If you
mean?
took the if you took the dog outside of Baker and gave it to Dak, superstar.
Well, Baker's dog just shows up like intermittently though, which is weird. Which is what the problem with Baker is that the
I don't know.
dog,
I think his dog always shows up, but sometimes his size just holds him back.
man, it's not about the size of the dog in the fight. It's the size of the fight in the dog. All right,
He's
and
got plenty of it, but at a point when you're getting beat around by these dudes that are twice your size,
sorry.
got me fucking daydreaming. But anyways,
Yeah.
back to Dak.
Back to rain before the
Um,
Prescott.
what I expect. This is what I expect to happen, and we're gonna talk about coaches later. So this is gonna play into
We
that.
will be talking about the head coach openings, ranking them, and also giving like mini predictions on maybe who might get the job.
I am operating under the fact that Mike is gone because that's gotta happen.
It should happen. Like you would hope. You would hope at this point. Like that's.
And I've also said previously that if we fail in the playoffs, like anything, I didn't expect this, but if we failed in the playoffs to a certain extent and we ran back Mike and Dak, that I would take the year off from being a Cowboys fan.
Mhm.
If and I'm staying with that. If they do that, I'm gonna be wearing the 9 Bengals jersey on this pod instead of this 11 jersey.
If the Titans hire Aaron Glenn, I'm going somewhere. I don't know where yet. I'm going somewhere. Um, I'll find out when. I'll find out after the draft probably where I'm going.
Yeah,
But if
after
we
teams
hire
have
Aaron Glenn, and we don't do anything offensively to innovate this team whatsoever, because that was the no again. I don't think we're hiring Aaron Glenn. I don't think we're going defense at all. I would be very surprised. Like maybe Mike McDonald would be the only one that because he's at least a younger guy, more forward thinking. He's worked with both Harbaughs who have both had a good approach to staff building over their careers. Like
Mhm.
maybe McDonald. I would like Mike McDonald. He's like probably he's close to the top of my list. He's probably third or fourth at this point for me. But like Ben Johnson or Bobby Slowick would be perfect. Even Brian Callahan. His dad is Bill Callahan, one of the best offensive line coaches ever. Tennessee's offensive line has been bad for the last 5 years. If Brian Callahan could bring his dad over from Cleveland to come coach our offensive line, I'd feel way. But imagine Peter Skoronsky with Bill Callahan coaching him, right? Like Peter Skoronsky and Joe Alt on the left side with Bill Callahan coaching him up, right? Like I'd like Brian Callahan, but like Aaron Glenn or even Antonio Pierce, because what does Antonio Pierce give you that Mike Vrabel didn't? Right? Like he's a very very similar style coach. It just wouldn't make any sense stylistically from an organization who's looking to evolve. You're basically getting a repeat of what you just had. Um, and Aaron Glenn just wouldn't make any sense. He's not a very good defensive scheme. He's 53, I think. That would seem like an immediate downgrade from Mike Vrabel. It has to be a young offensive mind. Because this is going to be a young team. This is going to be a team that desperately needs young talent on both sides of the ball. It's a team that I would like a head coach that can grow with this team, even if year one is rough, which I don't expect the Titans to compete for anything in 2024. I know we have a whole offseason to go in, which we have a shit ton of cap space and a top 10 draft pick. I don't expect even the postseason in 24. But by 2025, ideally the ball gets rolling and this team starts looking a little dangerous. But just give me a young offensive mind, man. Give me Bobby Slowick, man. So desperately want Bobby Slowick. I need it injected into my fucking veins. I think he'd be the youngest coach. I think he's 36, so he would be the youngest head coach in the NFL if we hired him.
PFF Bobby.
PFF Bobby. Thank you for taking a dump right next to me, Bowie. Smells wonderful in here.
back to the Cowboys for a second. With this upcoming draft, plenty of quarterbacks that Dallas could take and just take a shot on.
Just try.
Um, and I wouldn't even hate trading up if they really like a guy. And the guy they'd have to like to trade up would be like a Michael Penix Jr. if they think he's going to go still. I don't know. But we're going to be picking in the mid-20s, I guess, because we lost in the wild card round.
Your draft pick should be set already at this point.
Yeah. I mean, I can just Google that real quick.
Yeah, the updated like draft pick tracker. Yours is set with all the teams that lost already in the wild card round. All the draft order is set from everybody except the remaining 8 teams.
Okay, Dallas Cowboys hold 24th overall pick. Somebody's going to be there. In terms of like a Michael Penix Jr., JJ McCarthy, a Bo. Like this is where I'm at. Where I'm like, I don't even know much about those prospects. I don't care. Take a shot. I don't. Fuck it.
I'm with you. My only concern was that none of those guys. I mean, it's projection, but none of those guys are necessarily like the idea of like high ceiling quarterback, like the kind of guy you take a flyer on and hope he develops. But, like there are plenty of like C.J. Stroud doesn't necessarily have all the physical tools in the world, but he looks fucking insane. Joe Burrow, like average arm strength, slightly above average.
Yeah, when you said they don't have high ceiling, my first thought was like, well, that's what they kind of said about C.J. Stroud.
Yeah.
Dude, I would fucking sell
in year one
my soul.
He's, I still to this day I don't think I think there's a chance Houston would have taken Will Anderson at 2 and then tried trading up to 3 if Mike Vrabel didn't blab to Diana Rossini that he wanted C.J. Stroud. And there's a chance Tennessee would have traded up to pick 3 for him, but that's a whole other debacle. Because Will Anderson was the pick for forever. Like in terms of betting odds, Will Anderson at number 2 was number 1 for months leading up to the draft, and then all of a sudden they took C.J. Stroud, and I think that the reports that Mike Vrabel really wanted C.J. Stroud might have had something to do with it. I don't know. Maybe I got the tinfoil hat on today, but who knows?
Yeah, but I mean, I think I'm pretty much done talking about the Cowboys again because it's like on this pod I've forecasted how I'd feel and what my opinions would be since the Niners game. So, yeah. I think we can just move on to talking about the coaching jobs.
Yeah. So.
And again, factoring in, I don't know about you. I'm counting Dallas as open.
I'm not going to just yet. Assuming they are open, I would say they're the most attractive destination on paper, probably. But then again,
probably.
I don't, you could sell me on Atlanta just because you get to plug in your own quarterback, and you have a top 10 draft pick.
Yeah, but obviously you're not getting Williams, May, maybe not even Daniels with that
probably
pick.
No, not even because Daniels isn't going past both New England and the Giants. Like he's going to be gone by pick 9.
And then it's like free agency, who's available.
I don't know that Atlanta needs Kirk Cousins, but I don't.
I was just say off an injury, Kirk Cousins, who might probably. I mean, I don't know. He might stay in Minnesota.
I think they're letting him walk. I think he's walking.
I don't. I'm like 50-50.
We'll have to see. I don't know. Cousins is an interesting one, because I remember the free agency sweepstakes a few years ago. I think we could see that again with them.
I would want Minnesota to take a quarterback in the draft.
They're just not in a position to really take one right now, which is unfortunate. But
what pick do they got?
I don't know I think they're 11th or 12th or something.
I mean, fuck it. With what I've seen from their head coach, I don't know.
I like Kevin O'Connell a lot.
I'd have to see what their second round pick is. Maybe they could just get one of the
take somebody else in the second round.
Whoever falls out of the first.
They could JJ McCarthy or whoever.
Bo Nix.
Yeah.
I would trust Kevin.
Yeah, I trust Kevin O'Connell with quarterback evaluation as well. I really like Kevin O'Connell.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the head
let's
coach
see.
openings. Let me see. I have them all pulled up on my cellular device.
Because I do not.
Okay.
But here, yeah, I guess I'll say this. I guess I won't. Here, I'll just say my piece on the Cowboys right now, like you kind of just did, and then we'll move forward with the truly open jobs. Cowboys probably would be the number 1 job in terms of the roster.
Yeah. I would
Uh,
say,
but
yeah, you have the
but at the
best.
same time, there's a team with a quarterback that even though we've talked negatively of, we still it's there's a gap between him and all the other quarterbacks for the open jobs.
Yeah, no, definitely. However, I do. I feel like Madden ratings have skewed people's perception on the Chargers roster. It's not some stacked fucking roster. Is it underachieving what it could be? Absolutely. But
It's
is this like one of the best rosters in the league? No, it needs work. There
mhm.
are holes. There are pieces missing, especially at the wide receiver position now more so than it has been in a while. Keenan Allen really does not quite look like himself. I still believe in Quentin Johnson, but it is hard to maintain that belief, and you at the very least need some insurance next season because you cannot count on him to just magically be a whole hell of a lot better
Or
than what
Mike
he was
Williams
this
staying
year.
healthy.
You can count on him for 8 games a year. Yeah, you can't count on him for a full season of availability. No, when he plays, he's awesome. Um, just is he gonna play?
And then
So
Eckler just had his worst year in a
so
while.
there are. Well, Eckler's gone. Eckler's gone. He's not going to be on the team next year. That is chalk. He's gone for sure. Um, there are 7 openings currently.
Okay,
The
list them.
seven,
Yeah, list them
yeah.
first.
Um, Commanders, Titans, Chargers, Raiders, Seahawks, Falcons, Panthers are the 7 openings.
Okay, I guess. I'm assuming we could just go one down because that'd probably be easier to do mentally.
I already have my full list. If you just want me to give you my full rundown, and
Oh,
we can just do it like that. I give you my full list, and you give me your full list.
let's
Well,
here we can
we
work
can just
backwards. Then we can go. Yeah, you know what? Fuck it. Just give it your full list.
all right. My top option here would be the Falcons job,
Okay,
and
we
I
agree.
think there is a way too much like amazing offensive talent on this team for the next for whoever runs this offense next year to do what Arthur Smith did, and just painfully underachieve. Like this is you have Bijan Robinson, you have Drake London, you have Kyle Pitts. Figure it the fuck out. You've got one of the best guards in the NFL in Chris Lindstrom. You've got really, in general, just a decent offensive line at the very least, if not a pretty good offensive line. You have a very good defense this past season, who that still could have some room to grow, but generally speaking, like better than they've had the last few years. And I think Bill Belichick makes a ton of sense here, as long as he's not taking Josh McDaniels with him. Please, for the
Oh
love of
my
God,
god.
do not take Josh McDaniels with you. Just bring in some new blood. Um, but generally, and he just interviewed for the job. Either was it yesterday or today? I don't know, but I
He
know
did.
he. But I mean, Belichick to Atlanta was something I heard all the way back in December. Like I heard rumblings that if he did get let go from New England, Atlanta would be like probably where he ends up. Um, I think the Chargers would make sense. However, I'm going to get into them here now because they are my number 2. I think this is Jim Harbaugh's job. Personally, it's his job
Right
to
now, I
lose.
think we're in complete agreement of one and
Yeah.
two. Full because it goes like a complete roster, and then the next one is just like you've got the
You've
quarterback,
got
which
the
is
quarterback.
so
You've
important.
got some holes, but you've also got some pieces. By the way, Jordan Love Justin Herbert is still not the second best quarterback in the 2020 draft class because Jordan Love is better. And I had to get one dig in here about Herbert while we were talking about him, but not,
Dude,
not that I
Green
hate. I
Bay,
swear I don't hate
how?
Justin Herbert, but yeah. By the way, do you remember when people thought that was a terrible draft pick? Do you remember when that was a narrative? Like,
Of course.
yeah,
I mean, I see the reasoning because they were just in the conference championship game, and then you take a quarterback when you could be competing.
But what's more important though, like another wide receiver they could have taken then to maybe push for a Super Bowl, or take a quarterback who's going to play for another 15 years who could win you multiple Super Bowl. Like,
Well, you're playing coulds on both, so
yeah,
we
but
don't
you're
know.
playing you're sacrificing short term success for long term success. I think it makes perfect sense. I thought it made perfect sense at the time. Now, what didn't make any sense to me, and what still doesn't, is AJ Dillon in the second round. I thought that was pretty ridiculous, but because you still had Jamal Williams and Aaron Jones both under contract for that year, and then they let Jamal Williams walk. They paid Aaron Jones, and it's like, why are you paying Aaron Jones if you just drafted a running back that you really like in the second? Like, this doesn't make sense. Um, Anywho, moving on. The Chargers are my number 2 job. I do think, I would really like them to take Malik Neighbors one, so that they can pass on Joe Alt, so that he goes to Tennessee, but also because this team, like, just with another elite wide receiver, this offense could be dangerous. Um, Defensively, of course, they've got Bosa. I don't think Mack is back. I think they have some kind of cap thing. They have, in fact, Bosa might not even be back, depending on how they will need to get under the cap. Because I think they're a little strained right now. So we'll see exactly what happens to the roster. We'll see how bad of a need edge becomes. They might have to take Liatu Latu or Dallas Turner 6th overall. Maybe they'll trade back a little bit for.
If Jaden Daniels is available, there's plenty of teams that they could trade back with.
I don't think he's going to be there.
Me neither.
They're picked because the Giants pick before them, and what do you call it? Or wait a minute. Do the Giants pick? Yeah, the Giants pick 5th, I think.
I think there's.
No, I lied. I think I lied. Hang on. Are they 6th and the Chargers are 5th? Or the Chargers...
I will
6th
pull up
and
the
Giants
draft
are
order.
5th?
You keep up. You
Okay.
keep what you got. I will pull
But
up the
anyway,
NFL
the
draft.
Chargers, they could take edge, whatever. But either way, you have options if you're the coach of the Chargers because you know your quarterback situation is taken care of. So if you want an edge rusher, you go get your guy. If you want a wide receiver, you go get your guy. If you want an offensive lineman, you go get your guy. But there's enough...
Chargers are 5th. Giants are
6th.
6th.
Okay, so you're right. That this could be a Jaden Daniels trade back spot if the Patriots don't take him, which they may not. Who knows?
I don't know. It's hard to gauge them right now. They're about to be the differently ran than we've seen.
They don't even have their all their
GM?
they have like a GM by committee thing going on right now. Which is an interesting one. They kept 2 in-house guys and said, okay, you guys are gonna both run it, and it's like that doesn't make much sense.
God, all you see in the when they do the draft room videos is that before every pick, you just see them doing rock paper scissors on who gets to decide.
Who gets the final roster say on the Jesus. Okay, and moving on. This is an interesting one. I think the next best job is the Commanders.
We are 3 for 3 right now.
You
That number
agree
2
with
overall
me.
pick. Yeah, I do.
Well, it's
New
not-
ownership.
well, I've heard, and I'll just go ahead and say Ben Johnson's my pick here. I've heard Ben Johnson multiple times now connected to this job. I think it makes perfect sense. I think Ben Johnson is foaming at the mouth to have his pick at quarterback at number 2, assuming Justin Fields stays, which they're interviewing Greg Roman right now, the Bears are, for the offensive coordinator position. That's a pretty strong indicator to me that Justin Fields is going to be back in Chicago next year. If you're
That's very
interviewing Greg
interesting.
Roman, like... That's somebody who could theoretically work a little better with Justin Fields' skill set. If you're interviewing somebody like Greg Roman, that leads me to believe that obviously it was a long off season. We're still 3 months away from April, but
If they keep Fields, do you trade down? Because I think you could trade down like a spot or 2.
I think you just stick and pick and take Marvin Harrison Jr. He's good.
I don't know. I think
overall they can. I'm not saying it's out of the realm of possibility.
I mean, would the Patriots be willing to go up to 1?
They could.
It's hard to tell right now because we don't know. Their committee.
If they go down to New England's pick, then the Cardinals are going to take Marvin Harrison Jr.
No. New England's 3.
3? Okay, I thought.
Yeah,
okay,
Cardinals are 4. That's what I was saying because they would be 2 quarterbacks for sure, and then you would still get Marvin Harrison with more draft capital.
New England's willing to trade up to 1. I think that's possible, and then you still get your guy at 3 if you're. But either way, if you're Ben Johnson, right, you might have, even if you don't have your choice, you're getting either Caleb Williams or Drake May at number 2 overall. That is awesome. I'm assuming it. I'm operating under the assumption it is Ben Johnson, but either way, any offensive coach taking this job would get their pick at quarterback to work with for the next 15, 20 years. You're also working with Adam Peters at GM, who, by the way, he's going to be one of the best GMs in the league, like, very soon. I firmly believe I've loved Adam Peters. The Titans wanted him last year, and he declined. He had interviews from all 3 teams, and he declined all of them. He said he wanted to stay in San Francisco another year, and well, he did, and now he took the Commanders job. And I think having that 2nd overall pick, having Terry McLaurin, who didn't have his best year, but I don't think you're expecting that from him every year.
No.
You can trade Jonathan Allen if you want to. Honestly, I think they should. I think both sides could use a new start, and they would get an extra 1st-round pick out of that. At least they're going to get like a day 3 pick out of it too. You're getting probably a mid to late 1st, and then I don't know, a 5th for Jonathan Allen. That's probably close to his value. Like you've got options if you're the new Commanders coach, and there's enough talent on this team to where you have something to be excited about. You wouldn't be ready year 1, but you'd get a quarterback to build around. You would have Of course, you get Terry McLaurin in your offense. If
You
they want
got
to
there's enough
re-sign,
weapons
if they
there
want
to
to
like
re-sign Curtis
evaluate that
Samuel,
quarterback when
yeah,
he's there.
Jahan Dotson as well, still there, still developing, but I like his future overall. So to me, this is a job that if I was a head coach, this one would be interesting to me.
Mhm.
I would like again. I'm a really strong believer in Adam Peters. I think work if you're a coach like Adam Peters, is the kind of guy you'd want to work with because he comes from an organization that knows how to get shit done. And Adam Peters supposedly has been responsible for a lot of those day 3 fines for the 49ers. He's been like their like late round talent evaluator. Kind of like when Ren Carthon described the different roles all the people had in the 49ers front office, the way he described Adams' job, that was kind of his thing. So if that's the case, the next Fred Warner is going to be taken by the Commanders. And
Okay. I
yeah,
don't know how many Fred Warners are coming out of the
so
draft.
all right, I've waited long enough now.
Okay.
Number 4 is the Titans.
I actually also agree with you just because
Okay.
I very much like Will
Just looking
Levis,
at the
so
rest
that
of these
makes it.
jobs, not just that, but you've got a top 10 draft pick, you got the 7th
Mhm.
overall pick, you've got a very easy to get along with general manager, a very easygoing guy, like laid back guy. He's not going to rock the boat. He's just he's going to want to talk with you. He's just going to want to converse with you. You've got an owner who's got some balls on her. Yeah, quite frankly, but it's always turned out to be a good thing. When she fired Mike Mularkey after a playoff win, when she fired John Robinson last offseason, these were both good moves, and I think firing Mike Vrabel ultimately will turn out to be the same way, as long as we get the right hire in here. But I do think this is Bobby Slowick's job, and I think Bobby Slowick with Will Levis is a great pairing. I think he's a good fit for his scheme. I think I watched that Brevin Jordan touchdown, and I want to see him do that with Chigo Okonkwo. I watched Devin Singletary in this offense this year, and I'm thinking about what Tyjae Spears could do in that offense.
Ooh.
Oh my god, dude! I, I'm going to be very annoying about Tyjae Spears up until September of this year because I'm already on the Tyjae Spears Pro Bowl train for 2024, if not All Pro. I really do think Tyjae Spears is that good.
Okay, when I'm fantasy drafting, I'm gonna believe in you. I'm gonna
Where
believe you, and
I think there's going to the problem is there's going to be enough Tyjae Spears discourse this offseason, especially if we hire a young offensive mind to where he's going to be picked in like the 5th round or whatever. It's not even going to be much of a steal. He's going to have like decent value because he's going to be RB1 for sure. He's RB1 in Tennessee next year. Like Derek is more than likely gone. By the way, Derrick Henry, wherever he goes, like I would still believe in him to have a pretty good year, especially that he's second league in rushing yards behind a terrible offensive line. But anyway, back to
yeah,
the
he'll be
Titans
able to
talk here.
pick his team more, and we'll be able to filter for offensive lines.
I also think I don't know how excited a coach would necessarily be about Traylon Burks, but I do think confidence is a big issue with him. I don't think necessarily it's not that he does because Burks has the ability. We've seen him just dick somebody downfield on a like in his rookie year again the Bengals
You
game
have?
with when he caught that pass against Cam Taylor-Britt. It was such an impressive catch. The refs forgot to throw pass interference. And then the following week he got concussed and still caught the touchdown pass. Like there is a lot of ability with Burks, and the Titans never even really tapped into the shit that he was good at in college, which is like just get him the ball in space in the short field and let him do his thing after the catch. And the Titans never really tried that with him. They tried to kind of force him into a traditional wide receiver role, which was just not what he was in college. Like he needs to develop those skills, and they never really tried helping him out there. And I think a smart enough coach is going to see maybe Burks hasn't quite been utilized the way that he should be. A smart enough coach will also not make Kyle Phillips a healthy scratch 3 weeks in a row after him and Will Levis start developing a real connection. What the fuck was that? I still can't believe Mike Vrabel made Kyle Phillips a healthy and active 3 weeks in a row after he was looking like our best separator. And
Do you think that was solely his decision, or do you think it came from any?
he's the one who has control over who dresses on game day. That's the coach.
But like, you don't think the offensive coordinator is like, we don't need him.
No, well, maybe Tim Kelly. Well, let's be real. Mike Vrabel's not taking anybody else's input on who should or shouldn't be playing on game day. That's Mike Vrabel's decision, and he knows it. This is the guy that wanted full roster control. This is the guy that wanted Rand Carthon to have a boss so that he could overrule his decisions. Like this is the guy who wanted somebody else in the front office to help him out. So. No, I don't think Tim Kelly was telling Mike Vrabel, make Kyle Phillips a healthy scratch today after he caught 3 catches for 62 yards last week. No, that was just Vrabel doing whatever. Vrabel thinking he's smarter than everybody else.
He usually is.
Hey, I'm not saying it's never been right, but it's just his. anyway, I've said my piece on Vrabel.
Okay.
Defensively, Harold Landry played better this year than he did in 2021, which is especially impressive given the fact that the first 6 games this season he was clearly still recovering from that ACL tear, and it wasn't until after the bye week that he really started coming on. But he was playing the best football of his career. Danico Autry had his best season, and he's a free agent, but he says he has interest in coming back. I'd re-sign him. He's not going to be that expensive. He's 34. Give him another deal, another year for like $5 million. I'll take it. We have the most cap space in the league. Give Danico Autry another deal. You have Roger McCreary, who's quickly becoming one of the better slot corners in the NFL. You still have DeAndre Hopkins under contract for another year, and I mean any offensive coach should be excited about having DeAndre Hopkins. He is still a wide receiver one to me, based on what I've seen from him. I don't think he is elite, but like I've said a few times, he's 85% or so of what he once was, and I think that's plenty good enough. And you obviously the offensive line is what's going to need the most work here, but you have Peter Skoronski. Aaron Brewer, I think, is a restricted free agent, but maybe unrestricted. But he played well enough, I think, to where if he's your 5th best offensive lineman, you're okay as long as you surround. Because he's also undersized, so if you surround him with other better players, at least better pass protectors, your center is not on an island in pass protection very often. So to me, I'm okay with Aaron Brewer being the 5th best pass protector on this team. As long as Andre Dillard is not starting at left tackle next year, I will feel much better. Ideally, give me Joe Alt. But, of course, again, Will Levis. If you are Bobby Slowick, if you are Ben Johnson, if you are Brian Callahan, if you are Thomas Brown, if you are Mike Kafka, if you are whoever, you should be excited about getting to work with Will Levis, who will be the starter next year. I mean, Amy Adams-Strunk in both of her statements after firing Mike Vrabel mentioned we have a lot to be excited about. We have a promising young quarterback. Like, you don't mention your quarterback specifically if you don't, like if for whatever reason the GM wanted him gone, she would have to veto that. Like, I firmly believe she would. I think Amy Adams-Strunk wants Will Levis to be the starter next year, and I think he's earned it.
Agreed.
I mean, I've said it several times this year. Will Levis did enough for him to, without question, be your starting quarterback. Unless you can trade up to the 1st overall pick by just giving up a 4th, which is incredibly unrealistic. But if you somehow strike a masterclass deal to get the top pick and take one of those 2 quarterbacks, like that's the only scenario in which Will Levis shouldn't be the guy next year. He should be. He's earned it. And I think Bobby Slowick with Will Levis, I do think it will happen, and I do think it will be a successful pairing there. But number 5 for me, I think, by the way, only one of these teams for me is really not a good destination.
We'll get to it.
I like both of these next 2 teams well enough.
Mm-hmm.
Number 5 for me is the Raiders.
Okay, I would have Seattle, I think.
Well, and what puts me slightly above the Seahawks here with the Raiders, I feel the way that this roster is, you really are just a quarterback away, I think. You have, and honestly, my prediction here, what I think they should do, just keep Antonio Pierce. It's not rocket science. Like this team loves Antonio Pierce. They want to play for him.
You've heard the Max Crosby rumor?
Yeah, well, he confirmed it. It's not even just a rumor. He said, I'd have to consider it if they don't bring back Antonio Pierce. Like, he was asked about it, and he flat out said, I would have to consider requesting a trade if they don't hire Antonio Pierce. So it's not rocket science. Your best player is telling you should keep him, otherwise he could request a trade. I don't know, man. Maybe you should just keep the interim that your entire team really wanted to play for. Like,
who you dropped 60 points with.
I'm glad they're doing their due diligence on the coaching hire process, because if Antonio Pierce...
Well, they have to, I think, in terms of, like, rules.
Well, I mean, you satisfy the Rooney rule if you just promote him right away. I don't think they would...
I think they have to do... I think was it 2 interviews? I forget. But there's
But the Patriots were able to promote Gerard Mayo, like, as soon as Belichick was gone. So I don't know. They couldn't have conducted other interviews in that time frame. It was like immediate almost. So
it was built into his contract, so I don't know how that plays in.
But regardless, I think you're doing your due diligence as an owner. You should always bring in other minds, because you're gonna ask them questions about how they run things during a lot of coaches that they get interviewed. A lot of times, owners or GMs or whoever don't have any interest in actually bringing them on as the head coach. They just want some football knowledge from them. They want to ask them, why do you have this tendency? Like why like how do you defend against this? How do you game plan against X, Y, and Z? Whatever they just want to know. They want to pick their brain so that they get more football acumen from it. It's not always necessarily we're interviewing this guy because we really strongly think he's going to be like a good candidate. Sometimes it's just let's see how this team does things. It's from my understanding anyways, that is what happens. So
Probably.
if you have even if you really like your guy, go ahead and cast as wide a net as possible. Get as much intel as you can. And then still promote your guy, which I think ultimately they will. I think Antonio Pierce keeps this job. I think they learned their lesson from not keeping Rich Bisaccia, which I still think
Yeah.
they should have done, especially to hire Josh McDaniels afterwards. That was so stupid. Oh my!
It felt
I
dumb in the moment. Like that's always a terrible
well,
one when it's just like you could
there
tell it's
was
dumb and it
like
happens.
that was like when the Jets hired Adam Gase, and you're like, what? Why? Like that was like there are some coaching hires you just know are doomed to fail. For me, Nathaniel Hackett was one of those two. As soon as I saw that announced, I'm like, that's dumb. That's not going to work. Um,
We'll see one this cycle. Let's see which team does it.
um,
If we had to guess.
well, we'll get to them later. Next to me is I've got the Seattle job. There's not a whole lot separating the Seattle job from the Raiders job for me.
I
I
think to
like
me the
both.
difference was being in the division with Mahomes and then Herbert, who's probably going to be getting a better coach
Well, you're
than he
also in a
previously has
division
had.
with Sean McVay and Kyle Shanahan here, though, in Seattle. It's a tough sell. Um,
Yeah, but to me, I go off more. I think I go off quarterback more
Fair
in
enough.
terms of a long term, like
So,
looking forward.
yeah, no, I get that. So you've got,
Plus, you have Reed and Mahomes,
yeah,
like that combo. I'm like, yeah,
yeah.
I'll go. I'll take my chances elsewhere.
So wide receiver talent goes insane on the Seahawks here. You've got DK Metcalf,
Very
you've got Tyler Lockett, you've got JSN, who really came on as the season went on.
good running back
Defensively,
duo.
yeah, you got some guys. Running back duo is really good. You have a pretty good offensive line, all things considered. I think health was a bit of an issue this year, but I think
For those big boys, that's usually the case.
yeah, it's rare that your offensive line is healthy all season long.
Yeah.
That your starting five is out there, like for even if you get 14 games out of your starting five, that's incredible.
hmm
17 is damn near impossible. There's five guys. If any one of them gets hurt for any length of time, like yeah, you're not getting.
And O line is a weakest link unit, so
It is.
better hope next man up is solid.
Yeah. Thankfully, they got Charles Cross, who I love
Yeah.
Charles Cross. So this to me again, this is still a good opening, and I think it's Dan Quinn's, as I've said earlier. I think mostly not a whole lot changes. I think maybe he takes Gus Bradley with him to be his defensive coordinator, which I hope he doesn't. I hope Indianapolis gives Gus Bradley a 10-year contract extension because that man stinks. And I think Shane Waldron probably stays as the offensive coordinator as well. I don't see why they would fire him, or at least I don't see why they would try to move on. I think he was more just, hey, Pete Carroll, you're old, like you need to go. So you can still be here, but like go hang out like upstairs or whatever, you know. So I think this is Dan Quinn's job. And
Probably.
then I have a gap written in my list for this next one. This to me, this is David Culley, Houston Texans level of like, who want me? No.
Yeah.
Like I don't know.
And it's because of one man.
Oh yeah, David Tepper.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I thought you were. I'm like, Bryce Young is not that bad, but okay. No, well, for starters, you would have had the first overall pick this year had they still had their pick. They don't have it.
Don't have any pick.
Don't have
in
it.
the
Don't have
first
the
round.
pick. I like Bryce Young's future, but I am worried that this season was so bad for him that he might have some pretty severe football PTSD, which for quarterbacks especially is definitely a real thing. You see
Oh,
it
yeah.
all the time with quarterbacks that get hit too much as when they're young, quarterbacks that have no help whatsoever in their early stages. Like they develop really bad habits that will haunt them for a long time.
Yeah. But although
And
their last game was bad, but they were before that getting better. It seemed.
it's because Thomas Brown is good. Excuse me. I hope if Thomas Brown doesn't get a head coach job, which I don't think he will, I hope they retain him and some maybe even keep him as the OC. I like Thomas Brown as a coach. Um, to me, this is Aaron Glenn. This is Brian Johnson. This is whoever we can get in the door, let's get him in the
Yeah,
door.
somebody who's trying to be a head coach that
Yeah,
maybe shouldn't.
that I personally wouldn't touch with a 10-foot pole. That
Yeah,
granted, I have heard the Brian Johnson rumors have been interesting recently, where it's like Brian Johnson does not have the level of control in the offense that Shane Steichen did for Philly the last 2 years. Because
heard it. Don't care. That team
yeah,
looks terrible.
well, but Brian Johnson's offense when he was with Florida looked very different from the offense that the Eagles run. So I don't know. Like I said, it's mostly a rumor. I can't tell you how much stock you should put in that. It makes me feel just a tad bit better about Brian Johnson as a head coach candidate. However, I still don't think he's a proven enough offensive mind in the NFL for that to be the case. I think he needs to be somewhere where he can actually have run his offense the way he wants to, and not just Nick Sirianni's offense, because Nick Sirianni's offense is not very good. But
Nick Sirianni's not really good.
You have to work with David Tepper, who I
Looks
don't.
bad.
You hire Frank Reich to have an adult in the room, and then you fire him before before the year's even up, which I'm not necessarily opposed to, because I didn't like the hire too much to begin with, and it was pretty bad. He seems like a very impatient guy. He seems like and did you read that report? Like right after that last loss, before they fired Frank Reich, he went into the locker room just screaming and cursing, and then he poured his drink out on a Jags fan at
Yep,
the
saw
game
that.
a couple weeks ago. Like, what a dick! Like, I would not want to work for David Tepper. That's why this job for me, it's not even. I could live with not having the first pick this year because
Have you heard the argument that it's the best job out there?
I have not. I can't believe.
Do you know what the argument is?
What is it?
6 months of work for an absurd amount of money. Because you're getting fired
Well,
within the year. You work for
yeah.
6 months and you're getting a boatload of money,
Like I
dude.
said,
Best
this has
job
to
out
be-
there.
Not only this has to be throw a blank check at like Aaron Glenn just so you can have an adult in the room that players like, because that is one thing with Aaron Glenn. Players love him. What was like? Excuse me.
They could take Big
Um,
Mike.
Yep. So they could if they wanted him. So
Hey, that'd be a decent hire.
this definitely to me this is. I don't want to work with David Tepper. I
Nope.
want to work with Bryce Young, in theory. Like if they was an offensive coach, like I would like to work with Bryce Young. However, how much is David Tepper going to get in the way of a coach and a GM doing what they want to do? More than likely.
Also, how small
very
is
much-
Bryce Young? He is a petite
A little
boy.
tiny, a little 5'10", little guy, just a little guy.
Jesus.
Yeah,
I like him big.
I like him Will Levis size, 6'4". Give me prototypical Nico Iamaleava, 6'6". Give me all that. By the way, if this Titans head coaching hire doesn't work and we flame out and we suck the next 2 years, I want Nico Iamaleava. But anywho,
Of course you do.
yeah, Panthers by far and away the worst job. You got a couple things to be excited about. Like
If the Cowboys could take Connor next year.
yeah, you have fuck what even you have Brian Burns. You have Derek Brown. You
DJ
have,
Chark
Yeah.
fumbling into the end zone.
Thielen isn't terrible anymore. He's like pretty good again now, so that's fun.
Never give up on the corked up white boy.
White boy, go to with the sauce. Jonathan Mingo. I thought he would start slow. I did not think he would start that slow. He was not good. So
I mean, do they have the rest of all their picks?
I don't even know if they have their second. To be quite honest with you, I think they do. I think I would have heard if they didn't, but it's a bad situation to walk into. You don't have there's a team that should be picking number 1 overall doesn't even have their first round pick. You have by far and away at least the most difficult owner in the league to work with. Probably the worst owner. There's a couple that contend with him, but to me, there's just no incentive other than a shitload of money and a chance to prove yourself to be the head coach here. So this has to be like a David Culley situation.
I was just trying to see if I could find the full draft order outside of the first round and see
Gotcha.
if I'm not. People only care about the first. That's
Yes.
what I'm finding. Finding out. People only care about the first. And probably a full draft order will come out once An easy to find
Yeah.
one will come out
Well,
once
and
everything is set.
it's important to care about the first when it would have been the first pick in the entire draft, and
Oh
you would have
yeah.
had you could have taken Marvin Harrison Jr. Imagine Bryce Young with Marvin Harrison Jr. Like what that would do for a quarterback. Oh my goodness! Or he even traded back, got a couple extra picks, took Joe.
We might find out
for Shano.
for Fields apparently. And I know you're saying because you're looking at other things.
Yeah.
I would still trade Fields, but
I would personally,
and that's not an indictment on him. Split ways, it's best for both of them.
Honestly, send him to Atlanta.
Yes,
Give Atlanta.
that's been said
real
for
shot.
months now.
Yeah, oh, I've heard that since like October, and I've agreed since October. I think it's perfect.
Same.
Yeah. I think Justin Fields to
because you
Atlanta
get
would
a
make
good
perfect
pick
sense.
out of him. You take a quarterback at one. You could take an lineman or a weapon
Yeah.
or a defensive player with your other first round pick. Have
Yeah.
like 2 good seconds.
My only concern was like if you're interviewing Greg Roman, right? If you were wanting to take Caleb or May, that'd be pretty fucking stupid. To have Greg Roman as your offensive coordinator with Caleb Williams or Drake May, it would make sense for Justin Fields, but which is not to say that May and Williams aren't good athletes. They are, but that's not really their game though. It's like they
I mean,
like
maybe they might still be weighing keeping Fields or not. So it's interview a guy
Yeah.
that would be better for him. See what
Right.
that sounds like to you.
right.
So we don't know.
I don't know, but yeah, ultimately we'll see what they do. It's a long off season still, but yeah, Panthers definitively. If Dallas was available, which it very well could be, probably at the top of the list, maybe second.
Because
behind the Falcons.
with roster wise, like Dak, if you're the like I would have to. I think if you're an offensive minded guy, especially like you're like I know I can get the best out of him. I could make an offense that's not even overly dependent on him. And then the defensive talent you have, you don't even have to be a good defensive mind to have a decent defense.
Yeah.
This guy right here guarantees you a decent defense.
Yeah.
So,
It would
yeah.
be pretty difficult for the Cowboys defense to be awful. You have
With-
2 stud corners. You have Micah Parsons.
DeMarcus Lawrence is still
So
pretty
actually,
good.
You have like 4 edge rushers that you can play at least, if not 5. Like you've got dudes on that team.
And also, I really liked DeMar Overshown from what I saw from the preseason. He got hurt. He'll be coming back.
I liked Overshown a lot coming out. I think Overshown is going to give you good snaps next season. Assuming
So he's
back
able
in
to
full
be in the
force.
building,
Yeah.
learn. So he's mentally, it'll still be an adjustment because he's going to be his first year starting.
Right.
Well, first year playing, I don't want to put any pressure on what he'll hit. But anyways, a linebacker I like coming in. So that's 3 levels of just like
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, I like Overshown a lot. I think he could. Granted, I've also I liked a lot of Cowboys linebackers the last couple of years that haven't necessarily gotten to play.
I mean, Van Der Esch was still good, and I there's actually when he got injured this year versus our defense is like
Yeah,
how good it was.
yeah. Made a
There's a
difference.
note. I think it's noticeable when he was on and when he was off.
Take me back to 2018 Leighton Van Der Esch, man.
Oh,
God, I miss him.
but also if you're an offensive guy and you were taking the Cowboys job, you're like, you know what I do like as an offense,
CD
having
Lamb.
possessions.
Oh, well, that too.
Oh, but yes, but I was still on the
Yeah,
defense
having
side of it of like
possessions,
they get
yeah.
turnovers,
Yeah.
and I know that
Lot of-
Dan Quinn because it's been multiple years of that he plays a role in that, but it's to a point of like Teron Bland when he was getting picks, Trayvon Diggs is coming back, he's getting picks.
Parsons can force fumbles. Like
Yeah.
You're looking at turnovers for sure.
But then
Like,
yeah,
it's
CeeDee
gotta be
Lamb
top
who
half
was
of the league.
the second best wide receiver this last season.
Yep.
That's pretty good.
One of the best in the league, for sure.
Yeah, and like, I mean, I still like all the complimentary wide receivers the Cowboys have. Jake Ferguson looked really good at tight end, and I like the tight ends that are behind him as well. So it's like, well, got weapons. Offensive line, Tyler Smith is a young stud on the offensive line. Biotish is a serviceable center. Zach Martin still looked pretty good. I don't know how long he'll be good though. I think the only right tackle maybe is what you got to work on.
Yeah, Steele, he wasn't great this year.
No.
I do think it's a good shot they let Tyron Smith walk this offseason.
I could see it because Tyler Smith was drafted with that in mind. Then
you could see him moving to left tackle after this year.
I could.
Which, granted, I wouldn't hate it if they kept him at guard because he's really.
Neither would I
fucking
because he
good
was
at
so
guard.
good at it. He was so good.
But I don't think he would fail at tackle. Like
No.
His build as a prospect was that he could play multiple positions on the offensive line. I still firmly believe he'd be a great tackle. And he'd
Yeah.
probably
So I
get
mean, our
more
first round
value
pick
out
is
of
going to
him.
be an offensive lineman.
Yeah. Should
I
be.
want quarterback, but it's probably going to be an
It
offensive
should
lineman,
be.
which
It should be an offensive
which
lineman.
the trenches are so important. And honestly, the Cowboys pretty good at putting an offensive line together. So I will have because I remember some people questioned the Tyler Smith pick, and I was like, guys, this is I first of all
I'm
already
one of
trust
them.
the
It's
Cowboys.
I'm some people. Yeah, I was one of them. I
Yeah,
didn't
I
like
mean
Tyler Smith very much.
I I trust the Cowboys drafting, especially in the first round. Period. Throw on the layer that it was an offensive lineman. All right, I full faith that they know what they're doing because they
Yeah.
consistently have been putting out good offensive lines.
Honestly, there's a lot of tackle needy teams, so I do think we're going to see a lot of tackles go early. But there
We
could
would
still be one of the better tackles by the time you
it
get to
would
the
be a
Dallas
right
pick.
tackle as well that we would be drafting, I'd
Right,
imagine,
right.
or a
Whether it's
guy
I could see
to take over the
Amarius.
left guard spot
I could see
for.
Amarius Mims falling to the Cowboys pick. Maybe I don't think it's
We'll see.
super likely, but I think he might be like the sixth offensive lineman, offensive tackle taken. I could see him going down to the Dallas pick. So
I
we'll see.
mean, there's
Granted,
always crazy shit
he's a mountain
that
of a
happens
man.
in the draft.
You might see him like he might blow away at the combine, and then like his numbers might go up. But
I mean, there's always a pick or two in the offensive line, and you're like, what the fuck? That guy's like a third rounder. What do
Darnell
we?
Wright going top 10 was that for me in a good way last year. That's a vol right there. I was so proud of him, and he was really good. Like Darnell Wright is for sure the Bears' right tackle.
Like I've heard, like I've said this before. What I've heard from them, because I'm not watching fucking Bears games. What I've heard,
Yeah.
the tackles are not the problems. It's the interior.
I mean, Braxton Jones isn't phenomenal, but he was also a fifth round pick 2 years ago. Like, if you're getting good, like decent starting left tackle play from a fifth rounder, you're doing pretty well for yourself. So, but yeah, I wouldn't even say he's the problem. Like there's talks they could keep him as the left tackle going forward, which I think where they are in the draft right now, unless somehow Alter Fashanu goes to number 10, that's what you should do. You should just keep him as it is, and then I don't know, take Odunze 10th overall, or get another wide
Are the
receiver.
Bears 10th? I thought they were a little higher.
They're first and 10th.
Oh, okay.
So first is the Panthers pick, 10th is the Bears pick.
The Bears are 9.
They're 9?
Yeah,
they were 10,
that's what I
that's all.
thought.
Okay, maybe I'm just silly.
The Jets are 10.
Oh, you know what it is? I was playing Madden the other day, and they got the draft order all fucked up because they don't do the standings like the NFL does. So, like,
Okay, I'll just run through it. We got
Yeah.
Chicago at 1,
Yeah.
Commanders at 2,
yeah,
Patriots at 3, Cardinals at 4, Chargers at 5, Giants at 6, Titans at 7, Falcons at 8, Bears 9, Jets 10. That's the top 10.
yeah. By the way, if Patriots was a job available, they probably was still available. They probably would have been right behind Tennessee for me, maybe right above Tennessee. I don't know.
I'd have them right behind.
Yeah, I probably.
Because even though the third pick is really enticing, that rest of that roster is
You got a lot of work to do
Iffy.
offensively to get like playmakers there because unfortunately the Belichick philosophy has done some serious damage to the skill positions
Yeah.
on that team. So yeah.
Belichick coaching combined with Jerry Jones drafting. Pretty good.
I'd fuck with
Say which one about Jerry. He's putting together some talented rosters.
Belichick coaching combined with an offensive mind that actually uses the skill position players in Atlanta that would have me salivate. So that Falcons defense with Bill Belichick, Lord have mercy, that is going to be incredible.
I'm about
if it
to
ha-
buzz.
That is going to be incredible if it happens.
Yeah.
I really do think the only jobs Belichick's actually interested in that are available right now are the Chargers and Falcons, and I do think Jim Harbaugh is a Charger at this point. So I think Bill Belichick to Atlanta. He also just interviewed there. Like I feel like there's a good chance now at this point that's going to happen.
I need that Mike McCarthy has been let go notification to fucking hit.
I'm gonna check Twitter right now just to see.
I'm Googling Mike McCarthy right now just in case.
Just to see where we're at right now with the news. Where's the shifty?
I mean, I think Jerry Jones would be the type of owner to let him kind of go a little more gracefully, talk to the players, have a proper send off within the building. So I could see it taking a little bit of time to get him out,
Yeah.
but I genuinely do think he goes.
Yeah.
Even if it's not like within the time we'd expect. Because I think when he fired Jason Garrett, I think it was still like a week or two after everyone thought he was going to fire him.
Yeah.
So I think Jerry liked Jason Garrett more. Obviously, he was a Cowboys player, but Big Schmike.
Yeah. I don't see much. I don't see anything on Mike now. I don't see anything on Mike.
I'm
But,
seeing some funny ass memes though.
yeah. Yeah, it was a
Bill
little.
Belichick showing up uninvited at the Ford Center for the Cowboys head coaching job, even though Mike McCarthy hasn't been fired. He brought Zeke with him.
Yeah, I don't think nothing's happened yet.
No. Nick Sirianni and Mike McCarthy seeing each other at job interviews next month.
You gotta have Sirianni sitting outside the door watching McCarthy come out, and he's like, "All right, buddy, you're up next."
Yeah.
Yeah. Good luck. Yeah. I'm
It was funny because Dak also had a quote after the game. It was like, if they're questioning Mike, they should question me too. And I'm like,
yes,
correct.
You're
I
right.
agree. You should leave too,
Yes.
but you're probably going to be here.
Well, it's just I feel like the Cowboys' philosophy really hasn't changed much. Even with I think McCarthy is a better coach than Garrett was, but
Yes.
I feel as though the way they've done things, I don't know that it's been perfect. Well, obviously it hasn't been because they've been playoff exits every time they get there, somewhat early exits at the very least. But
Yeah, it's like, okay, cool. We beat the Bucks last year, who had a losing record.
he beat somebody else a couple of years ago.
I know Dak beat Seattle.
Yeah, it was Seattle. Okay, I was thinking about that this morning. I'm like, I think it was Seattle.
And Dak was like the reason we won. He used his legs more, but like, fuck. And then we lost to the Rams, and that was the year they made the Super Bowl and lost, I think.
Yes, I watched that game at Gabe's house. I remember.
So it's like, and then it's like losing to the Niners. It's like, okay, that's a loss. It's like, yeah, that's a good team, so it's not like embarrassing. But you stack
Zeke
them
at
all
center,
up.
Zeke at center is pretty embarrassing.
That one play, yeah. But you stack all those losses in a row, and it's like, now this is bad.
Zeke's final play as a Cowboy is the second dumbest trick play
Fucking funniest
formation
play
of all time.
I mean, whatever. Anyways, are we doing something fun now? What are we doing?
Let's
we
do
doing something a little fun?
Let's take our mind off of the coaching
Okay.
searches and the doom and gloom of.
Let's see. I'm gonna record here as well, and then you want me to intro this?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, guys. Today's pod has something a little fun, a little special, a little goofy. As we've said for several weeks, we've been playing Pokemon.
Damn right.
So, I think I saw a video from M&J TV talking about if he was a gym leader. And it got me thinking,
Got you scheming
what
a
if
lot.
we were gym leaders?
What?
What's these Poke teams looking like? And we did, we added a little flair to it. We're not doing types.
What are we
We're doing some we're just doing whatever themes that me and you came up with.
You damn right.
Now, I have two teams, and I think I'm gonna do one team, and you can do yours, and then I'm gonna do
the
less.
other one. That makes no
Because
sense.
the first one I'm gonna talk about is like super quick. It's not overly creative. It's really what I actually would be if I was in the Pokemon world. The other one is like an actual more fun, thought out thing. But I'm gonna run through this team.
Hell yeah.
All right, let me pull them up. I got my notes here. Let's see. Okay. This team, if I was a Pokemon gym leader, what would I be? Dirk's hiding away, but it involves him because I would be a dog gym leader. You'd pull up to the kennel. I'm in the back. All the gym trainers are around helping, like, actually train dogs. But my team would be a dog team. It would consist of, I might say these names kind of wrong because Pokemon names sometimes kind of weird.
Okay.
Hold on. Furfro, is that how you say that one?
Furfro, yeah.
I mean, that is the most.
What style would your Furfro be, though? How would he be looking?
I didn't know there were styles. I don't know Furfro like that.
Furfro is the Pokemon that gets cut up in X and Y. He gets the trim.
I mean,
He's
give me.
Gets the fade, man. You get all types of cuts, man. You could look up the Furfro sprites real quick.
I'm looking up Furfro forms.
Yeah, he's trimmed as hell, man. He looks
Yo.
good. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying, man. You gotta get him cut before you
I
can't just
mean,
do
the thing I
default
think
first row.
I probably would just take him at his base.
Really?
I think I would.
I'd get bro cut up personally, but that's just, I'd get bro a little fade, but I understand.
Yeah, I'm looking at him and like Dandy's kind of cool.
Uh huh.
I fuck with Dandy, but I think ultimately like for this team, I think I'm going natural.
Okay.
Going natural Furfro.
All right. We got Furfro.
Uh, Bolton.
Bolton. Okay. I fuck.
This team is going to be good because this team's got some type variety.
I had a
Here.
Bolton in my original playthrough of Pokemon Sword, so I'm with you. Uh oh. We're back.
Whoa,
My interwebs pooped, so I reset my router, and we're here again.
we
So
are. I'm gonna reintroduce my whole team
okay, fantastic.
just for easy editing purposes on my end.
Okay, that's good.
All right. So my team, Pokemon Dog Team.
Yes.
First up, we got Furfro,
Uncut.
natural,
Mm-hmm.
straight.
That's how I like them.
Secondly, Bolton,
Fuck yeah.
nice, cool little electric type here. And I think this is when something happened earlier that might have
Yeah.
cut out. You were saying something too?
Bolton shorted out my router, is what happened.
Bolton did destroy Bro's
I think
router.
I briefly mentioned how he was on my team during my original Pokemon Sword playthrough. I think.
Hmm.
I don't know if that was what I was saying or if I was saying
It
something
must
else
have been.
afterwards. But yeah, whatever it was, if it was something else, it wasn't important enough to remember. So that's okay.
And then I think the pronunciation on this one I think is almost opinion based because the dog that it's named after people say it differently. I'm gonna say Doc's Bun. Is how I'm gonna
Okay.
choose to
Okay.
pronounce
That
that.
one goes hard. I like that one.
Houndstone,
Handstone.
and then I gotta remember which form I wanted this guy in. Let me pull those back up
I
again.
think I know which one this is.
It is Lycanroc.
Fuck yeah. There we go. I was waiting for that one.
Give me Lycanroc. Gosh, which form? You know, let's go with midday. Let's go basic Lycanroc here.
I fucks with midday Lycanroc.
Honestly, I like all three forms.
All three are good.
But
Yeah, midnight's
I'm gonna
a
go
little
with
too
I'm gonna
edgy
go with midday.
for a gym leader team though.
And then finally,
This is the ace.
my ace.
Hell yeah.
People should have seen this coming from as soon as I said
Dog.
what the team was.
Got that dog.
And there's a chance Dirk has dressed up as this
I
Pokemon
was
for
just gonna
Halloween.
say, I think we've seen Dirk in this shape before. This is the first Pokemon I thought of when you said dog team. So take it away, man. Who is it?
Yeah, my ace is Houndoom.
What?
And I'm going to say that we're playing in a game that he can Mega Evolve in.
Fuck yeah, he can.
So, yes, give me Houndoom as my ace. That is my dog team.
Death beam pointed at the earth. Give me Houndoom.
But that's just kind of like a pretty basic, easy theme to go with.
Right.
Jacob, why don't you take us through your team? Do you want a light on in there?
Maybe I will do that, actually. Maybe I'll do
Bro is
that.
pretty dark.
In fact, I'll turn on the big boy light just so you guys can see me a little better.
Whoa.
Give me just 1 second.
Cake is barely visible. Whoa. Illumination.
Right.
There
you
he
guys get
is.
a special treat. You get the big. This is like the brightest you guys have seen me in a long time.
He does not do this for the
I am
pod.
illuminated. I don't do this for anything. I
Anything.
never have this light on. I hate this light. Like I
Wow.
hate having it on when I'm actually like just in here. I don't like big lights in general. It's but I usually have my lamp on. I also my lamp's fucking cool. Like it's a wicker lamp. The way the light casts out of it, it just looks awesome. Like I fucking love my lamp. But anywho, I have a team.
Mm-hmm.
I have a team. There's a theme for this team. It is a theme team.
I don't know if we've said this. We don't know what each other's themes are.
Oh no, I had no idea what he doesn't know what mine is either.
He doesn't know what my fun team is.
So, this one's got a theme. It's this for me is a pretty cool one. It's it features my first ever Pokemon that I ever had, and it's a theme that I felt he would be perfect for. So, without further ado, let's get
Okay.
into it. My theme is Earth. This is an Earth themed Pokemon team.
This is interesting. We've talked about. I've brought
The
up the
Earth
idea of an
type.
Earth type. Also because like every other media that has like elements like Pokemon
Right.
does have
It's
Earth as
Earth.
its own type.
Well, but for me, this isn't just, ground and rock type. This is like, when
Everything.
I think of Earth, I think of like, there's the soil and
The
there's,
plants.
yeah, the trees and shit,
Everything.
There is a lot going on here. Um,
Okay. Let's see the six.
the six, well, it starts out with a bit of an interesting one, and
Mm-hmm.
that for me is Tyranitar. Now,
Mm.
he's not my ace, but he is my only Pokemon that has Mega Evolution potential, so I'm just going to go ahead and say this is a Mega Tyranitar. So good luck
Whoa.
with
A
my
Mega Tyranitar
seven.
that's not your ace.
Yes. Well, I had to make one my ace by default, actually. But with that being said, yeah, Mega Tyranitar here. I do fucks
Okay.
with the Tyranitar. Number two, I've got Colossal. This was a Pokemon that was on my original Gen, what the fuck, Gen 18. Um,
Same.
yeah, I saw like Carcol, and I'm like, I need that, and I got him. So
I played that game without seeing him beforehand, so I was like, "What the fuck is this little
yeah,
pebble?"
yeah, I know. I just saw him when because I didn't know jack shit about the game besides the
Yeah.
starters when I bought it, and I'm like, oh, he looks cool. And then when he evolved, I'm like, oh, he's awesome. He's really cool. I love him. He's a little locomotive little dude, little coal powered little guy. And next up, this one is a favorite of mine from the generation it comes from. We've
Okay.
got in fact, I should. Oh my god, I should even edit in some music here. Some when I edit this, the Driftveil music in particular, because we got Excadrill on the
Ooh.
team. So I'm trying to get some type bases covered here. I do want a ground type. I do want a steel type in here, and for me, Excadrill. I think he's a cool looking dude. He likes to burr. I guess I should explain more why there's other two. So Tyranitar, right? He like reshapes mountains and shit with like regularity. So to me, he makes sense as an Earth themed Pokemon because he's directly contributing to the way the landscape is. And
Mm-hmm.
of course, Colossal, comes from the Earth. He's coal. He's pretty cool. He's a fossil fuel. He's fueling himself as well. So shout out. And then Excadrill, of course, he'd be excavating and shit. He'd be doing things with the earth. Maybe he's a little more industrial, but he's earth nonetheless. And then I've got Tropius.
That's a
Tropius.
good one. That's a great one.
See, for me, this one I was trying to think of between Cradily, Breloom, and Tropius for this one here because there's another type I had to get covered
No
besides my
executor?
ace, and well, maybe a Alolan Executor I could fucks with, but for me this was Tropius. He just I've always had just fond memories of Tropius, just what he is. He's a little dude. He's a fun little guy. He's got a super long neck. He's very tropical. I'm trying to get some more climates covered here, with my coverage, um, and then, and then I have, um, Barbarical.
Okay.
Barbarical. I got another rock type, but this time he's also a water type. So this is my ocean representation here,
That's a
and
good idea.
yes. Now I don't have any like Arctic representation here, and I do apologize that I don't have. But ice wasn't the first thing I thought of when I thought of earthy looking Pokemon. But I guess
Hmm.
Avalugg would have been a good pick here
That's the
somewhere.
yeah, that's literally the one I was thinking
Avalugg
about.
would be Obama Snow would certainly be a good fit.
Mm.
Um, and in fact, if you want to go ahead and sub out Tyranitar, give me Mega Obama Snow, I'll take it. But
I think Avalugg makes more sense for the theme.
my ace, my ace,
Mm.
this is the Earth Pokemon to me. This is
Okay.
what I think of when I think of Earth. This is a starter Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
It is of my favorite starter types. I fucks with the grass types. This
Okay.
Pokemon was the first one I ever had when I got a copy of this game, and my brother picked the fire type, and then he also picked the grass type on my DS, named him Fart Man in all caps. Ladies and gentlemen, my ace, Torterra.
Okay, when you said Earth, that was the first
Torterra.
Pokemon I thought of. And Torterra is my favorite grass starter.
The epitome of Earth. This is
He
the
is
Earth
Earth.
Pokemon. He's got
He
a
put that shit on
tree.
his back.
He put the team on my back. He put the team on his back. All right, this is. I don't even need to explain this one. Y'all know what the fuck Torterra looks like. Y'all know why he's my ace for this team. He makes perfect sense. I love him to death. One of the best designed Pokemon, I think, just in general.
For sure.
He's a giant ass turtle with a fucking tree growing out of his back.
Yes,
That's
I
next
fucking I loved it. I'm usually a fire starter type of guy, but first of all, that gen great starters to pick from.
Great
It's
trio of
tough.
starters. Yeah.
It's still tough to pick, but like, oh fuck, Torterra picking a little Turtwig.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a great one to have.
You got to get through the Grottle stage. You know, Grottle's not necessarily my favorite, but he's
How
not
many
even-
starters are people like sweet second form?
Yeah, very few where you're looking at the middle evolution. Like Grovyle, maybe. You know, like I fucks with Grovyle. Combuskin, he just looks like a nice little penis. So I don't know. Maybe if you find it really funny that Combuskin looks.
If
phallic.
you're weird and into that, I definitely don't love
Oh,
that.
I
Fuck,
hate
I'm definitely not in
phallic-
love with that
I
design.
hate phallic looking Pokemon. God.
Yeah.
Nobody gets excited for when their Chespin evolves. Everybody wants to skip to Chestnut. Nobody wants Quilladin.
I was literally thinking about him because I hear him. It's made fun of the most.
Yeah, Quilladin
for middle stages.
He's ridiculous looking. Honestly, I really appreciate all of the Gen 9 middle evolutions. I'm being oh my god, it happened to you too?
Yes,
That
dude, you
scared
freaked me the fuck
shit
out.
of me, dude. Oh my
I was
God.
like, come on, bro, not again.
Honestly, in terms of middle evolutions, I like Gen 2. I know I'm a Gen 2 hater in terms of the starters, but I think the middle evolutions all pretty good. Gen 9, I think, pretty good middle evolutions for the most part. Even Gen 1, they're not the craziest, but you know, they're like, I enjoy that stage. You know, but like you said, there's very few times where you're like, oh yeah, I can't wait to train this Braixen or whatever. You know,
Yeah.
like who cares? So no, I'm with you, but
They really lean into
Torterra.
the awkward like teen
Awkward
phase
teen-
for all the
but
fucking.
It makes sense for a starter
It-
Pokemon.
it
for,
does make
for
sense.
A game geared at children. It should. You should have an adorable little baby, a very awkward teenager phase, and then hits that growth spurt and then glows up.
Is a beast.
as an adult. Unless you're whatever the Gen 8 water type is, because that thing looks ugly at all three stages. I forget its name, the sniper one. I don't fuck with it in the slightest. It's probably my
Was
least
it
favorite.
Inteleon?
Inteleon is my least favorite starter Pokemon across.
I don't hate that at all. I didn't care for
Yeah,
him either.
Very nondescript. He's just ugly at all three stages. He's ugly.
Yeah.
He's emo. He's actually an emo teenager in his second, which I can appreciate. Honestly, the second form might even be my favorite just for that reason. Like, he definitely listens to MCR. He definitely listens to Pierce the Veil. Like, he's probably got some 3 days grace in there. Maybe if he's if he's Christian, like he's put some shit on for sure. Definitely Panic at the Disco in there somewhere, because he's like faux emo. He's not like actually. He's got the way he's got the comb over like in front of his eye, like he's a poser. He's a poser. But anywho, yeah, I think go ahead and give us your other theme, man.
So this one, I've got the 6, and they each have moves. I have move sets for each Pokemon. I did, yeah. I kind of want to take you through the Pokemon first and see if you can guess the theme.
Okay.
If that's okay
I'd
with
like
you.
that. Yeah, have fun.
Do you want the move sets or do you just want the Pokemon?
Give me the Pokemon and then give me the movesets afterwards.
Okay. You should be able to get this. All right.
Yeah.
The Pokemon are Quagsire,
Okay.
Golduck, Nidoking, Lombre, Tropius. We both got Tropius on our teams here.
Interesting.
And then my ace is Babarrel.
What an interesting.
Tell me if you need movesets. And you can pick a Pokemon. I'll just give if you want them all, or I can.
Is the theme just goofy? Just
Nope.
goofy looking.
That's not the theme.
Wait, specifically. Wait, Lombre, like the middle evolution, like not Ludicolo.
I just have Lombre.
What the fuck?
I think
What
I
the
think
fuck?
I know. I have a guess of why, because I had to look something up to formulate this team.
Um,
I have a guess as to why, but Lombre.
I didn't even catch that at first. I'm like, wait a minute, that's not even a final stage Pokemon. Like that's Ludicolo's pre-form. Oh, there's a lot of water types here, but except besides Tropius.
There are a lot of water types, yeah,
But that's not the theme, obviously, because Tropius is.
and Nidoking's also
Well,
not.
yes, but that's the weirdest one to me. I'm like, how the fuck does he fit in with the rest? I can see a vibe with the rest of these.
If you want to ask for a Pokemon, and I'll give you his moveset.
Does the move set matter in terms of the theme? Is that like important?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
give me Quagsire's move set. Which one's the ace?
Quagsire's
by the way?
moveset
Who's your
is
ace? Who's your ace?
my ace is Babarrel.
Okay. Oh fuck yeah. That's
All
hard.
right, you still want Quagsire's moveset?
Yeah. Give me Burrow
It's
afterwards.
Quagsire's moveset is Surf, Waterfall, Strength, and Flash.
Oh my god, I know it all. Oh my god, this is where my head was at when you said Barrel. It's just fucking HM slaves.
It is. It's a
just
team of HM
slaves.
slaves.
Lombre specifically the HM slave. That is such an
I
interesting
guess
one.
what I looked at was probably saying like this is a good HM slave until you can get to this other Pokemon probably.
Okay, until you can.
Or like you only need him up until this point in the game, so then you could switch to this Pokemon.
Barrel
my
being
guess.
Your ace makes perfect sense because he can learn everything but fly.
He's the face of
Yeah,
HM slaves.
he is the poster boy for the HM.
Yeah,
rule.
I mean, Golduck has Rock Smash, Dive, Surf, Strength. Nidoking, Cut, Surf, Strength, Rock Smash. Lombre, Dive, Waterfall, Surf, Flash. Tropius, Fly, Cut, Rock Smash, Strength. And Babarrel, my ace, Rock Climb, Rock Smash, Surf, and Waterfall.
See, what threw me off was Nidoking being here. I'm like,
Yes.
why would anybody relegate Nidoking to being an HM slave? But
You would not, but he's really good for it in
I
terms
was
of being
gonna
able to
say-
loot.
Oh yeah, well, just looking at like we're playing. We both have Nidokings in Gen 1. I'm looking at the HMs that we have already, and I'm like, oh shit, like, I guess
can learn that.
I guess, yeah. He'd be
But,
effective.
Also, because then I would be like a Giovanni gym leader, where I tie into a criminal underworld storyline that you combat with slave trading.
I was just gonna say you're doing the HM slave trade. You've got fucking black market barrels on your team.
Yeah, just a factory of the barrels, just shipping them out.
You just got Bidoofs in like a little chamber for.
And it makes the Nidoking one even
Gestation.
sadder because it's just like could be such a powerful Pokemon relegated to terrible moves.
Just got cut in Rock Smash. And
Yeah,
it's
fuck.
Flash or whatever. It's tragic.
Surf.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is my team.
That's a fun one. That's a really
Yeah.
fun one. I like
Yeah.
that. I really respect that.
And then I also like that it gets to tie into the like a storyline within the game.
Yeah, I fuck with that heavily.
At first I thought about being like a more comedic Giovanni, but then I was like, I don't think you could be like such a comedic character and then deal with slavery. So I feel like I couldn't be comedic in this sense.
Plus, like Giovanni already has so much aura. Like, how do you combat what Giovanni is?
You just I think it's that you would just lean hard into just being a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Like just vile human being.
Yeah, slave trader.
Yeah. So that's what you got to lean into. It's like, you know what? This is a deplorable human being.
Yeah. Hi, Dirkio.
Yeah.
Hi, baby.
Dirkio's on the move.
I see you, little Dirk.
But yeah, that's the team.
That's hilarious.
This is what I thought of. I was like, this would be fucking dope.
Should we predict the next round of the playoffs here?
Yes, we shall.
Yes, we shall. Wunderbar. So, let's take a propaganda. I gotta open up the next playoff predictor again.
Well, you can just pick it on your because we're just doing the picks for the week. You just do it on
but I
CBS.
still want to have a visual in front of me. Oh, no, you're right. I forgot You're right. We have the pick 'em. I'm stupid.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, neither of us did great. You went 2-4. I went 3-3, and we both we clutched up yesterday. Because
Yeah.
You went 0-4 until yesterday.
Fucking 0-4.
Bad.
I just
it was
assumed
really
Mike
bad.
McDaniel would be good at like scheming up a great run attack in that weather.
Yeah, but the Dolphins suck in cold weather. Like it's bad.
Well, like well, no, that's like because I thought they would just be running. I thought they'd be a really good run team with
Yeah.
how they've been this year
I
with Mike
get it.
McDaniel's coaching background,
I get it.
and he just did not. Also, when we picked it at first on stream, I didn't know about the weather. I wouldn't have changed it because I got like the reasoning I just said, but I didn't know.
Yeah, no, I get it. Um, so first up, Saturday, January 20th, 4:30 p.m. The battle of Titans head coach candidates: Bobby Slowick's offense versus Mike McDonald's defense. Lamar Jackson versus C.J. Stroud. A Week 1 rematch. This is gonna be cinema, by the way. This game's gonna be fucking awesome.
It's gonna be a lot of dude. If only Tank Dell was healthy, fuck, this game would be so much better.
And Noah Brown's out too for the year now, which I know it's Noah Brown, but he was still really good.
He was good for him
this year. Like which again, Bobby Slowick finally developing Nico Collins. Tank Dell comes in, immediate impact. Noah Brown looks like a serviceable wide receiver for the first time ever. Bring me this man on a silver platter. Bring him to Tennessee, please. Bring him to Nashville. Yeah. I would love him.
And you'll be able to get to him sooner because I have the Ravens winning.
I also have the Ravens winning.
It's hard, like this Texans team, but
yeah. I've got the Ravens winning, but I think the spread is 9. Houston's gonna cover that. I feel like unless Baltimore just comes out with an incredible game plan and just lights.
And they can though. That's the thing. They could.
I would be shocked if it happened, but I think Houston's gonna cover. I think they'll keep it within 9.
Yeah. Do you want to move on to the next game?
Yeah. I think we've said our piece. It's Packers at Niners. Kyle
this is the game of Cowboys rivals, teams that have consistently, not even rivals, teams that have consistently just destroyed the Cowboys.
This is Kyle Shanahan's run scheme versus the 28th ranked run defense in the NFL. I don't think this is rocket science. As much as I love Jordan Love, as much as I love what the Packers are doing this year, and how much I love their trajectory for the future, I see that shit-eating grin on your face, and I'm wondering where this is going. But I'm picking San Francisco.
I've got the same reasoning that I have in our full playoff picks. I'm sticking with it.
You still think the rust is gonna hurt them that bad?
Fuck it. Jordan Love looks like a superstar. I'm going with the Packers.
He is a superstar. He's that fucking dude.
Give me the Packers.
If we hire Aaron Glenn, I'm gonna be a Packers fan next year, so I can cheer for Jordan Love every week. In fact, you're not gonna be the only one wearing a number 9 jersey. Here, because I honestly I was thinking about this the other day. If I ever bought a non-Titans jersey, it probably would be Jordan Love, because I am a day one Jordan Love defender. Back when he had more detractors than supporters,
I was there with him. I'm a day one fan of everybody in the NFL.
I'm glad you don't hate anybody, but I was like
it takes a lot
on draft night. I'm like, this is
you needed Deshaun Watson story to drop for me to hate you.
The reactions were fucking stupid. I thought I thought people were way too I understood the hate for the A.J. Dillon pick. I still think I thought it made no sense at the time. I think it makes no sense now, especially when they paid Aaron Jones afterwards. But I thought the Jordan Love pick always made perfect sense. It's not like the Packers have never had success sitting a quarterback for 3 years before letting him go, right? That's never been something that they've done before that turned out to be a successful venture for them. Like, come on now. So I'm happy for Jordan Love. I'm happy he's developed as the season went on. In the last 9 games now, he has 20 touchdowns to 1 interception after this game.
Also,
the last 9 games.
McFleur, he knows how to get to a conference championship game.
He does. He's done it before.
So give me the pack. It would be so funny.
Wait a minute, wasn't it Kyle Shanahan that beat him in that game?
Yes, it was. But that's what I was about to get to my next point. It would be so funny because Aaron Rodgers couldn't beat the Niners. Jordan Love's first year starting in the playoffs beats the Niners.
Also, Kyle Shanahan's former his coaching tree can't really beat it. I know LaFleur is more of a McVay associate, but also McVay comes from the Shanahan tree anyway. It's basically they're different styles of the same. It's 2 sides of the same coin, but they are both the West Coast offense. With the wide zone schemes and they do it differently.
I'm picking the better quarterback.
Okay, fair enough. I'm picking the better head coach who historically has always beaten his disciples. So I'm taking Kyle Shanahan.
Bucks, Ash Lions.
The Baker Mayfield insanity run is over.
It has to. Give me the Lions.
Not that he's going to play terribly in this game, but I think I have more belief now in Detroit after this Rams win than I did. Certainly heading into the playoffs.
Defense stood up enough.
I still don't want Aaron Glenn. Uh, but yeah, now granted, if Detroit loses, that means Tennessee can interview Ben Johnson faster. However, I think he's a Commander anyway. I think there's a really
He's
good
well,
chance of that
it's gonna
happening
be.
now.
I mean, it's gonna be like a week of him interviewing with a bunch of different
Oh,
teams because
sorry.
they're all gonna
I
request
think
him.
because he's got his pick of the litter here. He's whatever he wants, he's gonna get for the
Well,
most
he might
part.
have to. Does he have to wait for the Harbaugh signing to go official and Belichick?
Not necessarily, no. Because well, granted, I mean, I feel like maybe don't interview for the Chargers or the Falcons and whatever. That's fine. But like he, as far as like the other five options goes, he's pretty much gonna have his. Well, any team
Yeah,
that's requested to interview him, he's going to have his choice of where he wants to go. But I do think, like I said,
maybe.
Washington is my most attractive option outside of the Falcons and Chargers, who are basically already filled at this point. I
We'll see.
think
I'm not sold on the Bill to Falcons part yet.
I am.
I would pick that to happen, but I'm not like
I get it, but I mean, I am pretty much sold on Harbaugh to the Chargers as of right
that one.
now.
I feel more, but yeah, that one I
I heard
feel.
Brett Coleman recently say it's the worst kept secret in football, which I don't know that I would personally go that far, but he also probably has more information on this than I do because he's Brett Coleman. So,
But yeah.
um,
Anyways,
yeah, I've got
Chiefs
Detroit.
at Bills.
Buffalo won this matchup in the regular season, and I don't even think they were at home.
And
And
they look
also,
better.
Buffalo has looked hot. Joe Brady, welcome back. I am so happy Joe Brady is once again in the good graces of NFL fans. I miss when people thought of Joe Brady as a hot head coach candidate. He was also like 31 when that happened in Carolina, so it's like he was super duper young, like 2 years younger than even Sean McVay was when he first got his job. So like, let's be nice. Let's not be mean. Joe Brady, welcome back, and I think next offseason, Joe Brady could be looked at as a head coach candidate. And I think he'll deserve it. If he does next year what he's done this year, Joe Brady absolutely will deserve that spot here in the future. But I've got Buffalo. I've got all the
So
home teams winning this week, which typically
I
the divisional round, the home teams do stand on business for the most part.
yeah, I was going to say that it is typically more, but I mean the Packers could get blown out. Like I'm not saying like I'm 100% sold on anything. Like they very well could just get blown out, but fuck it, give me the Packers.
A team with Joe Barry as defensive coordinator, I just don't see them holding Kyle Shanahan's offense in check, regardless of rest versus rust.
Brock Purdy.
Okay, if Purdy doesn't look,
We're getting a
great,
Brock Purdy
if
unraveling
Purdy
game.
doesn't look great, run the ball with McCaffrey and Elijah Mitchell. I don't care. Like it's good. You're gonna find some. It's Joe Barry's.
No,
defense.
who's their second string running back? It's not Mitchell.
It
It's
is
Mason.
Mitchell. It is Mitchell. Mitchell's had some injuries like for a while now.
Is it? Because I've only ever seen the other guy this year.
Mitchell had a good game a couple weeks ago because he was healthy. When McCaffrey got hurt, they were playing Mitchell.
I think I've only ever seen like Mason or whatever the fuck his name is.
Elijah Mitchell is the second best running back on this team. Whether he's the second string or not, he's the second best running back on the team. Elijah Mitchell's awesome. He just can't stay on the field, and he doesn't get used as often, even when he does, because Christian McCaffrey is Christian McCaffrey. So I get it.
Which important Niner gets hurt this game? That's the real question.
I don't want it to be Brandon Ayuk, so it's probably going to be Brandon Ayuk. He's the one, like in my gut, that's who it's going to be. I don't want it to be him though.
Probably would be like Trent Williams. He's already been banged up this year.
I was thinking skill positions immediately, but you're right. It could be. I mean, it could be Nick Bosa for all I know. But
Ooh.
because in my gut, I said, please don't be Brandon Ayuk. Now I know it's going to be Brandon Ayuk if there is one.
But yeah. Anyways, you know what we don't have prepared this week?
Top three.
Top three.
We totally forgot to. Fuck.
When we started the Pokemon one, it popped in my head, but I was like, let's finish this segment.
We had a lot going on this week. We I randomly brought up today like, hey, let's do the coach rankings. Like I feel like that could be fun. And we also did the Pokemon thing, and we've made our divisional picks now. So, we've got we did a pretty jam packed week this week. But at top three, what are you feeling?
I'm like looking around my room for inspiration.
Excuse me.
Let's see. Okay, we've done sodas, we've done Pop Tarts, we've done shows, movies, video games. God, we're already hitting a fucking wall for top threes.
Top three Lay's flavors.
I don't know Lay's flavors like that.
I don't really either, to be honest, but I know my top three.
Let's just do top three chips.
Top three chip? Okay, fuck it.
That opens it up
chips.
enough. We'll do top three
Top
chips.
3 chips. Now, if you want to get into the weeds of this, you can do like a specific flavor. Like for me,
yes.
I've got one in mind. I've got one.
I've got.
already.
Let's see. For sure, for sure. Who are you? Which one are you gonna be? Hmm. You know what? I think I got my top three.
I've got two already, right away. Number three.
So I'm gonna start with my number three.
Go ahead. I got my one and my two ready, so I'll figure it out by
All
the
right,
time.
I've seen a lot of meme. All right, top three of the week.
I've got it now.
Chip flavors.
Boom.
Number three.
Yes, sir.
I've seen some memes about when you get a variety pack of those small chips, and there's always one that sucks that gets left behind. And I've seen this one used when talked about that,
Oh,
and I disagree.
okay. Do tell.
My three is going to be Fritos.
Thank you. Thank you.
One of the biggest reasons is like versatility. I use it in other things.
Chili would be one.
I do
Fuck
it with
yeah,
chili.
that's hard.
I do it Frito pie, a little Frito pie with some chili. And it's kind of the same one, but I also do like in a wrap as well.
Yeah.
Guys, I've tried those at Buc-ee's and Sonic's. Those are really good.
Could put them in your salad, honestly, instead of croutons for some crunch, if you really wanted to.
You could.
I didn't know people didn't fuck with Fritos like that.
I've seen some memes, man, with them being like, "Oh, all that's left is Fritos." I'm like,
That's
fucking
disrespectful.
what?
Man. Fritos go hard.
But yeah, Fritos are my number three.
Yeah.
You're number three, sir.
My number three. I think generally these are pretty well liked. I gotta go with cheddar and sour cream ruffles. These,
Okay,
to
I
me,
think I've had them a little bit, but I'm not overly familiar with the
I
game.
have an honorable mention, by the way. Any flavor of Sun Chips.
Okay. Sun chips are hit or miss with me.
The cheddar for the most part, but I like a sun.
Yeah.
The sun dried tomato goes hard too. So.
I doubt I'd like that.
Oh,
I don't like
it's
tomatoes.
pretty good. Well, I don't either, but it's still really good flavor.
Okay.
It's a seasoning. It's there's no actual sun dried tomatoes in it, but yeah,
Figures.
sour cream or cheddar and sour cream ruffles, like they just hit. You know what I mean? They got this. Well, they just taste good, man. I can't do really a full in depth analysis on. It's just a good chip. Like
They just hit.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
All right, so you're number two.
My number two is going to be Pringles, specifically salt and vinegar.
Hell yeah.
And salt and vinegar, once you've had enough, your body lets you know they've had enough
Oh,
of salt and vinegar.
Your lips will tell you right away.
Oh
and
my
your
God,
tongue,
yes.
Your entire mouth area will tell you, okay, you need to put it down.
Eventually, it starts to hurt.
Yes. It
But
is
you have to
physically
eat a lot to
painful.
get to that point. And I will find myself eating enough to get to that
Yes.
point.
I've never eaten sour or salt and vinegar chips and not gotten to that point. I don't think.
Oh, yeah,
I
yeah,
get to
yeah.
that point every single time because they're really good.
I fuck with them very heavily,
This is another
hard.
controversial pick for you because a lot of people do not fuck with these. I know.
I've seen that too, and I don't get it.
I
I'm
don't
like,
get
yo,
it. I don't get it.
this shit goes hard, but
They can't hang. That's what it is. They just can't handle the pain.
apparently not. Like, it's worth it,
They
guys.
don't
Push
wanna
through.
fight
Shit
through it.
hits.
It's tragic.
And like salt and vinegar is probably my go-to flavor, like in terms of like different brands.
Yeah. Well, because it's
Um,
hard to fuck up salt and vinegar. It's two ingredients.
Yeah, two basic ingredients
Yeah.
right there in the name.
Salt and vinegar. It's gonna.
But
turn
yeah, that's my number two. What is yours, good man?
When you said Fritos, I got nervous because I thought you were about to take this one. I thought you were about to be like specifically the spiral barbecue ones.
Ooh, those are good.
So fucking good. This one's a bit nostalgic for me, and so is my number one, but we'll get to that later. God, these go insanely hard. For one, the shape,
Correct.
man, just something about the little spinning thing.
It adds like a
hard
bigger
heavy.
crunch to it.
There's character to that, you know. And then this is really good in chili. Like this is the one for me that I like putting in shit because then it's you already got flavor to it. It's barbecue. But Fritos in general, I love the scoops with like the bean dip. You know, like the little
Yes,
shovel-shaped-
I've got
shovel-shaped
got those
Fritos. You
here.
put those in the bean dip. The Fritos brand bean dip that goes with it. Hit every.
It's
single
been in
time.
rotation at this house.
Yeah. In fact, I need to buy. I haven't bought that in a minute. I gotta go purchase some. God, they go so hard. And then, God, I just love anything like corn tortilla chip or whatever. Always hits, but man, Fritos in particular. God, I fucking love Frito. But it has to be the barbecue one for me personally. Is my favorite. That's my number 2 favorite chip. So you're number 1. You have the floor. Go ahead.
It's interesting you bring up barbecue.
Mmm.
For me, this one is because this was always my favorite in these variety bags.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the Lay's barbecue.
Oh, brother, yes.
fucking loved it. With the variety pack that consists of the Lay's is currently in this house. The barbecue might be gone. I might have already gotten to them all.
Yeah.
But it's in this house as I speak, and it's it's on, that's why it's on top of the brain
Lord have mercy.
for sure. Barbecue Lays. That's pretty much it. I mean, this is an iconic one that speaks for itself.
One
so
of
you're
my favorites of all time.
you're number
for
one,
sure.
sir.
My number one. Now this one, there's not a more nostalgic chip for me, but it's still one that every time I buy it now, it goes so insanely hard. I was going to say, initially, just regular old Cheetos Puffs. However, and I feel like I would have respected myself for that one.
It's pretty good.
But there is one Cheeto, criminally underrated Cheeto, rivals them all, and I think
could have guessed criminally underrated something would be your number one.
God damn it, you're right. Fuck. Oh, I didn't even do this on purpose. I'm just now remembering that I know some people don't really fuck with these. Have you ever had those jalapeno Cheetos before?
I don't. Oh, not puff version, but yes, like just
the
normal.
crunchy ones. They've been a puff too. I love it. I love both. I don't care which one it is. In fact, I've got a tie here between the jalapeno Cheeto puffs and the jalapeno crunchy Cheetos. I don't care. Give me the jalapeno Cheetos. I'm eating the whole bag that day.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, I think my favorite Cheeto variation is the oven baked, like flaming hot Cheetos.
And you know what? I feel like not a lot of people appreciate oven baked chips enough.
Slept on for sure.
Slept on. They're a little dry maybe, but the flavor's still there. You know, especially with the oven baked Cheetos. Like I love the oven baked Cheetos.
I'm always drinking something with it.
Right. You always gotta have the bev for sure. But even then,
always
any chip you should have the bev.
Empty my bev. But yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, for me, no question about it. Give me jalapeno cheddar Cheetos.
This might be the top three that we've had the most respect for each other's list. It feels like.
Well, because it's very hard to fuck up a list about chips. Like, you could have said spicy sweet chili Doritos number 2, and I would have been like, that's a good pick. That's a good fucking pick. You know what I mean?
I'm trying to think what you could have said that would have made me go, dude, what?
I know I'm not helping my contrarian stance here, but if you had Cool Ranch Doritos in your top 3, I would have had to respectfully say that's ridiculous.
Every top 3, dude. It's gotta every top 3.
Every top 3 has got to be
the
something.
Contrarian comes out.
Man. Come on, man. So, no, I mean they're good. Like, they're a good chip. Don't get me wrong. I don't really fuck with them. Like there's a lot of Dorito. It's not even top 3 Dorito for me. Like, the nacho cheese is better. The spicy sweet chili is better. There's another Dorito flavor. I forget which one it is. That's better than.
Yeah, cool sure, buddy.
Cool Ranch is like my 4th favorite Dorito, which I mean it goes hard still. Like I'm never gonna be like, ugh, Cool Ranch. I'm too cool for Cool Ranch. Like I would eat that shit if you put it in front of me. You know, I'm not gonna pretend like it don't go hard. But you know, most Lay's flavors are the classic Lay's, sour cream and onion Lay's, barbecue Lay's. Like most Lay's flavors, they hit. What else? The wavy Lay's as well. When you make them wavy, they just taste better.
Oh yeah. For sure.
Even just
a little more texture to them.
You know, blue corn tortilla chips. They need more love. I feel.
They get enough love.
All right. Well, you know, maybe they need it even more. I love blue corn tortilla chips. I mean, I love it, just like I said, any like yellow corn, white corn, blue corn, whatever the case may be. Love any kind of tortilla chip. So you can that's the default for like dipping it in something. You know, it's delicious. So. Yeah, I mean, it's very few chips you could have mentioned where I'm like, that's fucking disgusting. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's chips. Come on now.
You ever had cheeseburger Pringles? Like, those are really fucking good. You ever had cheeseburger Pringles?
Pringles be taking shots at flavors. They be experimenting. They be trying.
I'm surprised I didn't even mention. It took me this long to mention like some of them wacky ass Pringles flavors. Now they don't always hit. They got like a dill pickle or some shit in there somewhere, which. Hell no, I am not eating no damn dill pickle Pringles.
Have you tried it?
I think I've tried like one. I wasn't really.
I've never tried it. I don't know, bro. I bet it hits.
Well, Pringles is never like terrible, but I mean, like I said, like the cheeseburger variety, that shit goes hard. The sour cream and onion, of course, without question, delicious. You know, but yeah, you're right. They have like a ketchup flavored Pringle. I'm pretty sure, and it just tastes like ketchup. It's good. It's like
we found Mahomes' favorite. Yep.
Pringles. So
That Pringles is a little Mahomey.
yeah. So, but no, you're right. Pringles does have a lot of versatility. Like, if I could only eat one chip forever, it probably would be Pringles. Just
In
so I
terms
know
of brand,
I've
yeah.
always got variety, and
Hmm.
they're always good. Like, I've never had a bad experience with Pringles. So, yep,
Yeah.
I think I'm with you.
Yeah.
That was we ended up getting a lot more mileage out of that than I think
For
we thought
sure,
we
dude. I
would.
was thinking that mid combo. I was like, yo, this was actually kind of hitting.
Yeah, we generated some good discussion with this one here. So I'll take it.
Yeah. Um, I guess it's time for what we're on. What we've been on.
Well, we've been. I'm gonna be totally honest with you. I once again fell asleep during the new Percy Jackson episode. I still have not gone back to finish it, so I need to do that because the new one comes out tonight. And
I definitely missed some dialogue in that episode because you guys were
yeah,
talking about Annabeth saying something. I don't even think I registered she even said seaweed brain because I was watching with my sister,
oh,
who
see,
also
I
had
don't
read the
think I
books.
remember
So we
that.
were talking the whole fucking time over
Oh,
a
okay.
lot of the dialogue. We literally
Yeah.
paused it at one point and rewinded the shit to be like, all right, what the fuck did they just
My
say?
sister has also read the books, so in fact, I gave her my copy of House of Hades and Blood of Olympus. I don't know if I told you
Hmm.
that. I gave her both of them so that when she catches up to that point, she can read them both. She just has them.
I'm trying to remember what books were out when I read because I definitely remember waiting for Blood of Olympus. I remember waiting for that one for sure.
Mark of Athena was the last one out when I read them. When I started
When did you
reading
read? Do you remember when you read?
them. Seventh grade or eighth grade is when I started reading. Oh, it was at Luna. I know. I wait.
Oh,
Oh wait, no. No. It was elementary school. I'm sorry. What the
yeah,
fuck?
because I was gonna say Blood of Olympus was out
No,
by
it
the
was like
time.
fourth grade. Excuse me, was Mark of Athena. Fourth grade, and so I read Mark of Athena first because I was like, oh, this cover looks cool. It reminds me of that Percy Jackson movie. And then I read the name Percy, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Okay.
Wait a minute. And then so I read them in all kinds of. I think I read like the other Heroes of Olympus books, and then I read all the Percy Jackson books, and then so like I was all caught up at some point. I read them in a crazy ass order. But
Yeah, I was about to say, dude,
I was
the
eventually all
machete
caught
order
up.
for fucking Percy Jackson is what you did,
No,
dude.
not even, dude. It was like I don't know if anybody else in the world has read them in the same order that I did because
Because I know I read them in order, and I know it was fourth or fifth grade,
fourth grade for me.
probably
Yeah.
both. For fourth, probably started in fourth. Read them all
Yeah, well,
fourth
yeah,
and
because
fifth
you said
grade.
if you waited for Blood of Olympus, you maybe you like really got into it in fifth grade. Because I know I sped run all the books in fourth grade, and then
Yeah.
I was like, what do you call it? I only had to wait a couple months for House of Hades to come out, and then I waited another year for Blood of Olympus. But I was in
And
sixth grade when Blood of Olympus came out, and
and
I went so hard.
I own all the books. They're in like my closet where my closet has like a shelf on it that uses like the book stand there.
Yeah.
I own all of the Heroes of Olympus books once, and then for some reason, I don't know how this happened. I owned the original Percy Jackson series twice. I have two sets, and I don't remember how I came into possession of two sets,
Interesting.
but I possess two sets.
Fuck yeah.
But yeah,
Um, yeah,
but I've been on that.
I
A
did
couple
the
more
cra-
hours,
the
new episode.
The craziest machete order in history
Wild.
to read those books, but I love them. And let's see what else I've been on. I've been listening to that music. You ever heard of music? I've been on that. Did you know I listen to music regularly?
Your music? No, I don't think I've ever heard of your music.
Okay. Well, no, I listen
Oh,
to
Jacob,
the
I didn't know you liked music.
I listened to the new 21 Savage album. I'm sure you know who that is.
I know who that is. Yeah,
know
I
you
didn't
know
listen
who
to the
that
album
is.
though.
Oh, okay. It's called American Dream. It's good. It's the first album I've listened to in 2024. It's really good. So it's a good way to start the year. It's granted. I mean, he's consistent. Like he's consistently putting out good music every time he drops.
He
I
is.
feel. Like,
He's
I've
best
never-
when he's featuring though. You've seen that meme. Come on now, you've seen it.
I don't know that I have seen that meme.
You haven't seen people talk about like 21 on his own songs. It's like still solid, but like 21 on somebody else's song,
Oh, okay, yeah, he's.
that's a
phenomenal.
different beast.
That's exactly how I feel about a few rappers, like J. Cole, for example. Like, personally, I'm gonna be totally honest with you. The vast majority of J. Cole's discography is pretty overrated. If I'm just being real.
I have not delved into it, but I've
Which
heard
is-
this before.
Which is not to say, like, again, like when he features on a song, it's guaranteed a hit I've never heard a bad J. Cole feature. I don't think. I'm sure there is one out there somewhere, but I've never heard
Maybe
it.
not.
If there is, like, in fact, he goes nuclear damn near every time he's on somebody else's song. And I think it was like 2018 or 2019 where he just had the most ridiculous feature run I've ever seen a rapper go on. He went insane, and it was incredible. And then Who else features really well? I guess Ty Dolla Sign became known for his features so much he dropped an album called featuring Ty Dolla Sign.
Mm.
Uh,
Clever.
yeah, which honestly was pretty fun. And then who else? JID goes great on features, but his own music is fucking phenomenal.
Who?
So, JID.
Oh, okay.
Crazy on his own songs too, though, so it doesn't really count.
Yeah, he's just solid.
He's just awesome. He's better than solid.
He delivers every time.
Yeah, never heard a bad JID verse in my lifetime.
Never lost.
Undefeated, never lost. Oh, is there a bad Kendrick feature? I don't think so.
Probably not.
His feature on what's the song? It was it's Vince Staples. It was off of Big Fish Theory. I was trying to think of what's the name of the song?
Fuck.
My coworker just asked me if she could bring me some of the lasagna she made tomorrow. Yes, she can. I'm going to text her back later. What's the name of this? Hang on, I'm sorry. This is gonna drive me nuts. I got a Big Fish Theory. What's the song with Kendrick on it?
Who cares? Is this what you've been on?
Yeah, right. That's the song. I listen to this song quite regularly. Yeah, right by Vince Staples. One of Kendrick's best features is on this song.
Yeah, right. It was sitting right. I had to do it.
Yeah. And then there's Conrad Tokyo by A Tribe Called Quest, which was Kendrick's biggest influence going into, because he does the jazz rap thing too. His feature on Conrad Tokyo is fantastic. I don't know. This randomly devolved into which rapper does good features segment, but
yeah, and I'm snoring.
Kendrick's features phenomenal. So, what else I've been on? Shit, I've been damn. I don't know. I've been playing, but get back into playing GTA a little bit. Having fun.
I've seen that.
Yeah.
It's popped up. Jacob is playing
GTA 5.
GTA 5.
Been enjoying myself. Yeah. Oh, my friend. I just got notifications that my friend's playing Baldur's Gate 3. In fact, it showed up on the. It showed up on fucking the screen.
So it's in
the video. You guys are.
It's in the pod.
My friend is playing Baldur's Gate 3. So.
Well, tell him he's going to be in the pod episode, and maybe he'll
well-deserved game of the year. Yep. No disagreement there whatsoever. Everybody unanimously agreed that.
Yeah, I was trying to change the subject.
Sorry. All right. What you been on?
I've been meaning to get a little bit more into the animers. The animes. So I started watching some pillars, some titans of anime. I started Dragon Ball and I started Naruto.
Okay. Oh, multiple at a time is an interesting strategy. You double fisting.
Might as well. Fuck it.
Okay. All right. I see.
Double glizzy mode activated.
I'm about to clip this.
I've seen that meme floating around for Tony Romo calling Justin Herbert versus Patrick Mahomes.
I did see that. No, or Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes. Yeah, Tony Romo's gonna have a field day calling that one. He might actually go into cardiac arrest.
Oh yeah.
He's gonna be coming so much he's gonna pass out from.
He's gonna stop.
Like, I finally made your pasta. It took me 5 hours and I passed out 40 times. But I finally.
Just on the broadcast, we're just gonna hear. Hold on. Okay, hold on.
Oh, Josh.
Oh, come on. Wait, 1 second. I'm almost there. Fuck. Make that throw. Fuck, make that throw. Jim, that was a little.
Goodness
gracious. Yeah. Anyways, Dragon Ball, Naruto started those. Both crazy. I do not need to see Kid Goku completely naked. I don't need to see his little animated penis. And if Naruto, I texted because my sister had seen Naruto, and I'm using her Crunchyroll account, so she texted me when she saw what I was watching, and I texted her, I was like, yo, if I see Naruto turn into naked Sailor Moon one more time, I'm turning this shit off. And she's like, you better just go ahead and turn that shit off.
Yeah, it's good. The sexy jutsu's got to happen a few more times.
I was like, what the fuck is this?
If you're ever looking for a quick watch, something that is not going to take you more than like a weekend, Soul Eater, strongly recommend Soul Eater. It's only one season. It's like 20-minute episodes. It's like 42 of them. Maybe not even that. I don't know. So it's a quick watch. It's very good. I knocked it out in a spring break, like sophomore year of high school, I think. It's
Yeah,
fantastic.
I mean, but yeah. Been playing Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2 on stream.
Look at you go.
Been streaming that. Gonna make that a Wii Vault video. I was hoping to get it out this Saturday, but that's not gonna happen. It'll be next Saturday's video. I have no idea what I'm gonna do for this Saturday, but yeah.
You could clip the what do you call your Pokemon segment from this video? Make that Saturday's video.
No, I'll do something. I'll just have to think about it.
Okay.
Cause then I'd have to do something else for Wednesday.
Oh, that's your Wednesday video already?
Yeah, it's gonna be my
Okay.
Wednesday video.
Do you want do you want to just do an impromptu thing together for your Saturday thing?
We could. What do we do?
We could play Pokemon Showdown.
I have no idea what that is, but yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, it's a website. You go on there and we'll just do random battles or something. And then it's an easy video for you. You don't got to do a whole lot of editing.
No, yeah, we can do that.
Pokemon Showdown.
It'll just be titled like,
Loser gets
Pokemon
destroyed 15-0 and
yeah,
Pokemon
Pokemon noob.
Yeah.
Maybe like white boy gets just dominated.
Yeah.
That'll just be the only title.
American Twink gets dominated by German Pokemon veteran, and I don't know. All right,
Well, anyways, yeah, well we can do that. We'll talk about when we can do that later.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
But yeah, that's it. I mean, let's see. Subscriber update. I am at 271.
Fuck yeah.
I had one day where I gained 12 subs. One day.
I was gonna say because you were at like 251 the last time we recorded.
Yeah. I think it was the 12th because I think I was just looking at it. Your boy gained 12 subs. Let me see. The 13th. Yeah, I gained 12.
Look at you go.
In the last 28 days, I've gained 40.
Yeah. Hell yeah. You gotta hit 2,000 by the end of the year, man. I'm telling you.
Shit, that would be bananas.
It's coming. It's coming. You're not ready for it, but it's coming.
I just need these videos. I need one video to fucking pop.
Just one video.
It just takes one, bro. I just don't know, and I can't plan what it's gonna be because whatever I think is gonna pop won't pop. It'll be something that I'm like, oh, fuck, I need to throw up a video real quick. Because right now that is what my most viewed video is. It's me ranking Power Rangers theme songs into a tier list.
I assumed it would be your Force Unleashed Wii Vault.
That is my most viewed Wii Vault.
Yeah.
At 255 last time I
Makes sense.
checked.
That's a game people love.
But that fucking Power Ranger theme song tier list one is at 3.2 thousand.
Shit.
And that's a video. Like if I include shorts, my most viewed short is like 6,000, and it's like the first short I made when I beat these Pokemon in a fight or not.
Oh, okay.
And it's just me going yes, no, no, yes, yes. That's the whole video.
We should start doing more shit like that together. I think just like silly little shit like that with like.
I mean, the layup one is always, would we sleep with these Pokemon? Smash or pass.
Do you want to do that like soon?
We could do that one for the Saturday, because what we could do is it ends up being pretty long usually, so we could do two halves, one on each channel.
Yeah, you're right. I'm down.
Me too.
I'm down if you are.
Yeah, we'll do that instead. We can record that whenever.
Yeah, especially if we're both doing the Smash and Pass. Like, I feel there's gonna be some obvious ones, and then there's gonna be some where I'm like,
yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I want to see. We'll see how freaky we are.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh hell yeah. That's you're right. That is always the easy one. That's the low hanging fruit. Is would you fuck this Gardevoir? Would you? Would you? I bet you.
Oh,
would.
I wonder.
I bet you would. I bet you. I bet you would, buddy.
Well, here's Lopunny. What are you gonna do with this one?
Well, yeah, the one that's
You
based
gonna
off
pass?
of Playboy Bunny. I don't know, man. I mean, I feel like there's only one thing you can do.
Yeah, anyone who's still listening to this pod, you got those videos to look forward to.
Yep. About to be deep dick in these Pokemon. So get ready for it.
But I think that's it for the pod. I don't have anything else to add.
I think I'm good. think we didn't even do the personal check-in. This real Grant. I know you're not doing well because the Cowboys.
It's because I just skipped. Because as soon as I just answered with fuck.
Yeah, that was the check-in. For me, I'm
Yeah.
doing well because I think Bobby Slowick is going to be my team's next head coach. So
I'm embracing the future, as I said in my own
Yeah.
video. If you want my
have to.
true full thoughts,
you have to.
I have a video up on my channel about it.
I feel like I should make a Titans coaching search deep dive video here in the near future.
I told you should.
Yeah, no, I should. I probably do. That's something I can commit time to this weekend. Just like sit down and record, like go over
Yeah.
all the candidate, like put them in tiers, give my full opinion on each candidate. Tell people why I'm probably higher on some of these candidates than most Titans fans are. Like there are some people who would probably shoot themselves if we hired Mike McDonald because he's a defensive coach, which I think is ridiculous because he is objectively a very good candidate for anybody's head coaching job. I understand the fit maybe wouldn't be great in Tennessee because you ideally do want that young offensive mind, but whatever, we'll see.
But yeah. Other than the Cowboys loss, I've been doing pretty well.
Wonderful. I'm doing
Channel's at an all-time high. So
doing pretty well.
yeah, you want to sign us off?
All right. Well, thank y'all for watching. Have a great rest of your day. Next week, of course, it's gonna be on Brayden's channel as it goes. The day this video goes up, which is going to be Wednesday the 17th, we will be live streaming Pocket Monsters, red version, from. So that'll be fun. Come check out the stream, and have a great rest of your evening. Peace.
Adios.